Hello. Hi. Welcome to the last episode
We
of
made
Stream
it.
of Blades. We did it.
You
Or
made
did
it.
we make it? That's a big old question mark until
No, we made it to the
the end of
last
the night.
episode.
We did make it to the last episode. There's no denying that. Hi, my name is Rudy Basso. My pronouns are he, him. I am the co-owner of the Don't Split the Podcast Network, which is the stream channel you are currently watching. This is the end. I play the Commander, Greymane, and also today I will be playing Ananika Ilyovna, who is the officer trying to defend the Star Fox from the evil forces of the undead. Woo! To my left. Or no, let's start with our game master, Shane. Hello, tell me about yourself. How are you?
I'm the game Zaddy, Rudy.
Game Zaddy. I should change this text to say Game Zaddy over your name.
It's not too late. One
Right.
episode left. Can't hold anything back.
All right, I'm on it.
Anyway, I am Shane. I am at Mundangerous on Twitter. My pronouns are he, him, and I am one of the hosts of the Total Party Thrill podcast, where we talk about RPG stuff on the Don't Split the Podcast Network.
To my immediate left, I-Hsien. Hello.
Hey.
Yes, hello.
How you doing, Rudy? I am I-Hsien, he, him. I am the other host of the Total Party Thrill podcast, where we also talk about our own games that we run in our home group, and also we build a bunch of characters. Lots of
D&D characters.
D&D.
Eberron stuff.
Sometimes we build non-D&D stuff too, but yeah, right now there's a lot of Eberron.
Gotcha.
And I'm at Evil Sans Carne.
Oh. To my far left, wearing a very festive holiday sweater, Sally. Hi, how are you? Tell me about yourself.
Hi, Rudy. I'm Sally. I'm wearing a festive holiday sweater. I am at Sally T on Twitter. I'm the co-host of a podcast called The Struggle Bus, which, if you're into RPGs, you would totally love, even though it has nothing to do with gaming at all. It's a mental health and advice show, but I don't know. I feel like if you're into RPGs, you'd like it.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
about overcoming high challenge rating obstacles.
Exactly.
My
Life's
own-
highest challenge rating obstacles.
And my own brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Amber, I'm going to get to you a second. We just got a 500-bit donation from Falcon Wolf, which
Ooh.
means that
Whoa.
the enemy threat has been increased.
Uh-oh.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Yes,
Great.
Falcon Wolf.
That's how
Was
you
that
win the
Ake
show.
or was that Render himself?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh my god.
Love it.
But
Cool.
also wearing an incredibly festive, wonderful shirt, Amber.
Oh, that's a.
Yeah.
You guys are both wearing D&D.
Yeah. Whoops.
We didn't. Why didn't
Oh.
we coordinate?
I was wearing
Yeah.
an Andre-themed ugly sweater earlier today.
Oh.
I think there is time at the commercial break for you
Yes,
yeah.
maybe.
Everybody
to throw
get
that
the
right
festive.
on.
Okay, stick around. Anyway, sorry I interrupted,
No,
Amber.
it's fine. Hi, I'm Amber. She, her pronouns. You can find me on all the social medias at Rocket Orca. I'm the co-owner of the Geekspective podcast network, where my show Shapeshift, about my journey GMing, is on, and also a show called Tales from Moxbury that my friend runs, that is streams on this channel on this Saturday. Yep, that's me.
Awesome. We just got another donation from Pivek. Hi guys, love your stream, but can mostly catch it on VOD since it's the middle of the night in Poland where I live. Good luck with the
Oh.
broken
Oh my god.
and in Daggerford Falls.
Daggerford Falls.
Yes.
It's official. It's official.
Way to prove you're up to date.
So that gives us, I think, a free push.
Whew.
Or, yeah. So I think we'll use it as...
That's a free push.
Yeah, it didn't specify whom, so it will be a community free push.
Yeah, we'll leave that
Yeah.
open.
Yay. So Shane, why don't you give us a quick recap of what happened last week on this show?
So last week we followed briefly. We followed the Legion as they actually finished their march to Skydagger Keep, not Daggerford Falls. That's a small suburb outside the keep. And you realize that when you got there were a lot of preparations that were necessary in order to get it into fighting shape to withstand the sort of joint army of 3 broken. Then we cut across. Oh, and before that, I think we recruited for the very last time. The last few members of the company that we could possibly swear the Legion's oath are now here with us in Skydagger. And then we cut over to Operation Chosen Arrow, which are the elite group of Panyar who are escorting, or who has previously escorted the Star Fox, the Omen of Nyx, to the Horned One, her sort of sister goddess, and performed a ritual in which you created a sapling from which you understand that you will be able to like rebirth Nyx, the dead goddess of the moon of the Panyar. And so to that effort, everybody kind of did some magic, said some prayers, did a ritual hunt, and then with the sapling carried by Red Raging, you went to the spot that you knew was correct, that Red Raging felt in her soul was the correct spot to plant the sapling, which happens to be next to a rocky outcropping that is in fact part of the broken moon that has fallen to the earth. Then from there, you waited. You were told that you needed to plant it at the full moon and wait for the new moon. Is that right? Yes, I have it right. I know the order of things. You plant it at the full moon, and as the moon wanes, at the first new moon, if everything works, Nyx will be reborn. You have been 8 days, and
the enemy threat level has been upgraded 3 times.
Yeah.
You've been telling us this
Falcon Wolf has
story.
donated another 1,000. Shane, obviously you can dole those out over the secondary missions as well, or some other,
I'm sure I'll do that.
Okay. It doesn't all have to be now during the final mission of the
No,
game.
of course
just,
not. Sorry, I was stunned into silence. So you've waited on guard here 8 days, and finally, you have made preparations. You have laid traps. You have prepared for what you expect to be a siege of both Breaker and Render themselves. You don't know what kind of army they will bring to bear. Obviously, it won't be much. They're trying to move quick and nimble through the forest to get to you, as they have sought you out, but. Already, you have engaged with Render's troops. You may recall the Horned One turned into a giant wolf and padded off into the night. Came back rather injured, but said that you will have a chance against Render, and then left again to go pursue and harry Breaker to perhaps buy you some time and give you a shot at defending this tree. And the tree, if you recall, is now something like 2.5 feet tall. It is beginning to sprout leaves. It is obviously growing completely aseasonally. And even I guess this is an interesting little tidbit. It seems to even be growing at night. The moonlight and the sunlight are both sort of fueling it, like a tree and then also a magical tree tied to the moon. Let's see, what else? Anything else that we should talk about before we... I guess we could talk a little bit about that fight, which was, of course, first a large group of Gaunts that you mostly were able to dispatch quietly, sort of stalking them through the forest as they were thinned out through your various traps. So you basically bypassed an entire first wave. Then the Heartless, some of Render's elite troops, giant, heavily armored elites that have ripped their own hearts out of their chest and are pumped full of cinder blood. They came. You dispatched them. They are actually currently, as we speak, still lit aflame, burning in oil in the bottom of a trench, possibly causing a bit of a battlefield challenge for you. But they are dead. And their leader, Ake, the Heartless that once had had the severed head of a fallen foe in one of the holes in his chest, which spoke only secrets of the dead. That's gone. But Ake is currently lying on the far side of that with your heavy Red Raging. and they are sort of squaring up on each other as he has just tossed one of his heartless sort of back into the pit to be free of his entanglement, as he is now out for blood. So, did I miss anything?
I think you got it.
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like everything.
I mean, are there any other threats out there that maybe we've overlooked?
Nope.
Nope, can't remember other threat at all.
Okay, thought so. Also, I realized I was a bit remiss in ticking the clock here as time is passing for the horned one. So we're gonna go ahead and put 2 ticks on the horned one.
Yes.
That's just a time passing clock. No need, I'm sure nothing bad will happen when that fills up.
It seems fine.
Yeah. So Falcon Wolf has asked for more elite enemies to appear, and Falcon Wolf, I think that's a wonderful idea. So,
What did we ever do to Falcon Wolf?
I don't know.
okay, so 3. He has requested 3, and I will grant him 3 or her. I don't know. I will grant them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, so literally the last thing that happened was Ash took the shot to send up those Heartless in the trench. So I think we're sort of still in initiative, or I mean, we're not in initiative, right? But we are still very much in this fight. And as Red Raging sort of flung herself out of the way as a still burning Heartless kind of slammed into Ache on the ground, and is sort of recollecting herself. I've got some bad news for you. Red Raging, you are on the other side of this burning trench, and coming at you are a trio of enemies that you have not yet seen with Render's army. These are the Devourers, which is, if you recall, are the flying sort of monstrosities that...
Oh yeah, the one that Red Raging whipped over her head before.
Yes. Red Raging dealt with one in heroic fashion to break the siege of Fort Callisto. Yeah, they are kind of giant, sort of bird bat creatures, right? They're sort of these hideous abominations because, of course, they're not a natural occurring thing. They're large enough that they can be ridden as mounts, for example, things like that.
Go on.
They are powerful enough that their claws can pick a fully grown person up off the ground and carry them off to their death. And if you recall, when you first discovered them, that's exactly what happened to the poor squad sent on that mission.
Right.
So anyway, you hear that screech from sort of high above you. And then there is a sort of a rustling from above, if you will, as these 3 shapes sort of streak down through the canopy. And these gnashing talons are now sort of lowered upon you.
Sweet. When you said trio, it sounded so jaunty. I didn't expect it to be 3 Devourers. Trio. Okay. Can I okay, so I have just gotten out of the way of the dude who used to have the head in his chest. Right?
Yes, that's Ache.
Of Ache. Is he near me?
Yeah, he's probably on the ground. We said you were disengaged, because you were kind of remember entangled, as you had shield bash tackled him to the ground.
Right. Okay.
And then you sort of rolled out of the way, and we said you were sort of he wasn't able to immediately threaten you, right? But you were still kind of close at hand.
I'm still close to him. Okay. And these Devourers, they're about to dive bomb me, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible for me to grab Ache and throw him in front of me like a human, like the human shield that he was always meant to be, or the non-human shield?
Yeah, Inhuman shield, perhaps.
Inhuman shield.
That feels like an act of superhuman strength to me.
Yes, nice.
Because if we recall, Ache is 7 feet tall and pumped full of cinder blood, and kind of a little bit on fire, I guess.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, this sounds superhuman. Okay, so Reduce the threat level of all the enemies you're facing by 1. Okay, so I'm going to push myself, which
Is
is
there any-
2 stress.
Is there any way I can aid? Like if I'm watching this happen from a distance and I run up and
You tell me. I think the running up is going to be difficult.
okay.
Because you still have that sort of like, for lack of a better term, a wall of flame between you.
I've been through worse.
I mean, I think that's the sort of thing that like we could
Yeah.
just say you could pay some stress, right?
Yeah.
And, like between flashback and just going through it, right? Like you're on the right side of it if you would like to be. I think that's a one stress
Yeah.
move.
Okay, cool. I would like to do that just to give Red Raging potency. So I can give you basically a tonic. I just imagine like those coolers where you like the plastic bottles and you snap the top and
Yeah.
you drink it.
Uh-huh.
That's what I want you to hand to you, essentially.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we'll do that. We'll say that that's a flashback to
Okay.
Just as Ash took the shot, you sort of like
Hand
as
you a
everyone
Capri
was
Sun.
ducking, remember, like Red Raging told everybody to get out of the way, and you ducked across the trench.
Okay, cool. And then yeah, I pass you a Capri Sun and bottoms up.
Nice. I pop the straw in. I get it in the pouch in 1 jab
Whoa.
Oh my god.
because that's just, I'm so focused. I'm in a flow state,
Talk about superhuman.
right? And that's my use of War Machine. Okay, so can I use Skirmish to do this Inhuman Shield move?
Yes.
Okay.
So one clarification here. So this
Yeah.
tonic, Amber, is this just an assist action tonic,
Y-
right?
this-
Like a thing that you carry with you. This isn't one of your like combat drugs.
This is no, this is a special ability, Dr. Feelgood. Spend 1 use of tonics to grant 1 person potency for a physical action.
Cool. Awesome.
How does potency translate?
Increased effect.
Increased effect.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to, can I push myself for another die?
Yes. So keep in mind, this is where our friend Strosh, the designer of the game, would tell us to count what you need
Oh, okay.
for this. So because I think you need 3 ticks on Ache to kill him, right? So
Uh-huh.
that should probably be your target.
Okay.
And like the goal here is to like use Ache, like rather than you just attack him directly, you're going to use the devourers and force them to attack Ache on your behalf, right?
hmm
So okay, so your regular, if you're successful, that will be 2 ticks.
Okay.
You are currently you are threat 2. He is threat 4. Yes, he's
Lieutenant,
threat
yeah.
4. So that would be -2. Potency would give you 1, and you could
And War Machine reduces the threat of all enemies you're facing by 1.
okay, cool. So that would be up
Oh.
to 2.
So push for effect and you'll kill him.
Yeah. So then if you push for effect, you'll kill him, or if you use your anchor fight as a small squad. Though,
Increases scale.
yeah, I feel like that's a little bit harder to justify in this particular action.
I have to use push in order to, I have to push in order to use War Machine.
So push for effect.
So I'll push for effect.
Cool.
Okay, so that's going to be, that's just 3. Okay, so no bonus dice. Am I in risky position?
Ooh. I think you might be desperate.
Yeah, it feels desperate.
This feels pretty desperate.
Yeah.
Get
Effect.
that XP.
Should I input the effect, or should I just keep it
Don't
standard?
worry about it. Yeah,
Okay.
we've got the math.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh well. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Okay, so a 1-4-1 on a desperate. That's you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer severe harm. A serious complication occurs. So I really like severe harm here because I feel like what you are doing is picking him up, and he is trying to kill you as you are holding him.
It's fair.
So if you're cool with this, I think you pick him up by the 2 holes in his chest, right, and sort of hold him
Yeah.
that way. And he has his like hands around your head, and he is just trying to squeeze you like
Okay.
a melon. So the severe harm is going to be like I don't know, something to that effect, which will be you've reduced his threat. So he's threat 3, but it's +1 because of the
Oh, tonics. Yeah.
because of the severe. sorry. So the harm coming your way. So you will kill him. You are successful. I will narrate that, but let's talk about what's going to happen to you as a result of this. As he is trying to choke the life out of you as you are trying to use him as a shield. So what does that look like, and what are you doing to resist?
He's trying to choke the life out of me as I'm trying to use him as a shield. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Are we talking like level 2 harm, level 3 harm?
Level 4 harm.
Level 2. Oh, zing. Okay.
Yeah, because he's threat 3, and then it's severe, so it's +1, so that's 4. It
Mm.
would be level 5 if you weren't using your war machine.
Yeah, good call. Okay. One good thing is that Red Raging has tenacious. Penalties from harm are 1 level less severe. Oh,
Okay.
the level 4 harm is still fatal. Never mind.
Yeah, you do
Bummer.
need to get it down to level 3 at least.
She's
to
not
live.
that tenacious. Okay.
You can
Well,
resist the consequence. Remember,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
you should-
definitely going to do that. And we're in heavy load. So
Yeah,
I
we-
have,
Lots of armor.
lots of armor, and I can use,
Do you have a shield or a big weapon?
I have shield. I have
And-
plate,
and fine armor, right? Fine
Yeah.
heavy armor.
fine tower shield, fine
Yep.
fitted heavy plate. Does that mean fine?
So I think altogether that's 3 that you can reduce it by.
Mhm.
2 from armor, 1 from shield.
Right.
And then you can resist the last one, or you can just take the level 1.
Right. Because you don't actually take penalties from it.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay,
Spend
so you'll
that armor.
expend all of your armor. Okay, so I think what that means is you are like, how would he do this? I'm struggling with how you get the shield used in this particular situation.
Mm.
How do you get value out of the shield?
Maybe like, oh, you mean protecting me?
Yeah, to
maybe
protect
like
you.
maybe I like bash it into him and it creates distance between us.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and like, yeah, so he has to like, it's just one more thing that he rips and like flings as you're like holding him up. Right. And so same thing, I think like your armor is like he's trying to rip your helmet off with your head in it.
Classic.
Likewise you've got like a gorget and stuff like that, right? So he is literally like with his bare hands as you were holding him through his chest, he is just trying to rip your armor asunder to try to get to that sweet Panyar head to crush. And I think so. Let's say the harm is choked.
Okay.
And that'll just be level 1 then.
Cool.
And yeah, so like these devourers sweep in with their like these like nasty talons, right? And they're ripping and trying to pull away for they catch flesh and then try to pull up into the air, and you are like inhumanly strong, anchored to the ground, resisting against them, and like he is trying to like rip your head off while you are just clinging onto him for dear life. And like the next devourer comes in and the third devourer comes in, and they're like kind of squabbling with each other, and like eventually like he is just ripped like as they like between you holding on through his chest and them picking pieces of him and like ripping limbs and stuff like that, like, and then you are just covered in cinder blood.
Nice.
Like a wash of cinder blood as he is just ripped limb from limb by these devourers who sort of like immediately try to elevate into the sky, right? Perhaps not aware as they're like frantically doing this that they have got the wrong quarry. And I think you are going to get corruption.
Yeah.
So
As your little
That'll
cinder
happen.
blood.
Rudy, you're so excited.
Azure, go
Are
wipe
you
it off.
marked? Are you marked?
Yeah, I'm marked. I have
Nice.
plus 2d to
Yeah.
corruption.
okay,
To
so I
resist
think
corruption.
it's still going to be 3 corruption because I'm still going to treat him as threat 3 from this.
Okay.
So yeah, however you want to resist that.
I guess I can do prowess.
And if you have
Okay.
religious supplies, right, you just automatically, or
I did,
reliquaries,
actually.
you
I
automatically
forgot
reduce it by
reliquary.
1 anyway.
And I used 1 last time, so I'll use 1. You said it was 3 total?
Yes.
Okay. So it would be 2 if I reduce it. Okay, so I'm going to do prowess. Okay, here's another question. If I fill an XP clock, can I level up in game?
No,
Fair.
not on a mission.
Okay.
But we are in a little bit of a blend of like mission and narrative time here. So I will say if you survive to their retreat, like if you can get a breather for a night, you can perhaps gain a new ability.
Okay.
Remember that you are getting +4 dice on this resistance because you're marked, and using the reliquary, I believe, gives you, actually it's either 1 or 2 extra dice.
Oh, it gives you dice? I thought it like
It
think it's
reduces
plus-
and gives you dice.
It's minus, yeah, it reduces corruption by 1 and gives you +1 die.
Okay, I did not do that right.
So you have 3 extra dice on this roll.
Um
So you could just
I rolled.
roll. You could just roll
Okay, just
however many more
slash
you
R.
need. to
Well,
roll.
yeah, how many
3d6.
more dice do you need to roll? You just rolled 5.
Yeah.
I just rolled. I did my normal prowess. What did I do?
It should be
Sorry.
prowess +3. So your prowess is 3, and it should be +3.
So roll 1 more.
So yeah, so just roll 1 more die. Just / roll space d6.
Bless you. /
4. Okay, didn't matter. You take 0 stress from this.
You roll a 6. Yeah.
Yeah, because 6 was your high.
Cool.
So you will take 1 corruption.
Okay. NBD.
Yeah.
No
you are
problem.
you are awash.
Whoa. Oh, excuse me. What? Wow. I think she just said it doesn't matter. Ugh.
Red
well,
raging is like ascending to another plane right now.
Okay, so these devourers have sort of taken wing again, and they are still below the canopy as they are realizing that they do not have the heavy they sought, but instead have the champion of their erstwhile ally, and they are circling for another pass. What do we do, team?
As they make their swoop towards us, they are met
Yeah.
with a hail of steel as I marshal the troops in a shoot action.
Sweet. I will roll their shoot.
I will roll marshal.
They rolled a
Okay.
1 and a 3.
I should declare whether I was pushing myself beforehand.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, if you're
I
taking the stress
will-
either way, I don't care.
Well, it might be a failure if I don't pass now.
True. Last
Hey,
stream.
Fast and loose. Fast and
Yeah,
loose.
and
last
loose.
stream. Can't hold anything
Yeah.
back.
I am pushing myself. I am declaring it. Okay, so I'm taking 2 stress for the push and 1 for the failures, and I 6.
Hey.
Okay, sweet.
Oh,
Okay, so before we get to this, point of order, didn't antioxidant?
Yes, you're right. 100
100
bits
bits.
were donated to us. Thank you, antioxidant or antioxidant.
Oh, heck
so
yeah.
that is a minor complication to a roll. Also, Shane, because I have lead from the front, scale goes up 1 more for the small group.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you now have scale advantage,
Yes.
but you are getting a minor complication either way. Thanks,
Also,
antioxidant.
I will use our black shot.
Okay.
I'll use black shot. So
Okay,
that
so
should-
that's +1 potency.
plus, yeah.
All right, so you were risky, and it's a 6, so you do it. So that would normally be you are threat 2. They are, I guess they're
believe-
threat 3 because they're upgraded, right?
This is a group of-
Devourers normally 2, so
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
upgrade, yeah.
but we've upgraded them because we had 3
Mhm.
threat
Yes,
upgrades, right?
that's you to decide.
Yeah.
how to dole
Okay.
it
Well,
out,
I'm
so-
gonna upgrade them.
Okay.
Also, they just ripped a heartless, or they just ripped a lieutenant apart.
Yeah, these are some super devourers.
Are they
no
are they
doubt.
eating cinder blood? I,
Oh, maybe that's what
it.
makes them-
Actually, I think that's it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think they're ingesting cinder blood and sort of like you're seeing them hulk out a little bit in real time as they're just sort of circling.
we should have done that.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, God damn it.
It's not
Quick,
too late.
lick it off, Red Raging.
It's not too late.
Start scraping some off
I'm like squeezing my.
Yeah.
into a jar I have.
I'm
You're
sure
just like
there's
running over to catch it.
no, your shield is upside down. It's just gathering it like a bowl. Don't you
Ooh.
want to lick cinder blood? What could
I'm-
happen?
Tempted.
Great, gonna have to kill the rest of the party.
Okay, so back to the math here. So you are Threat 2, they are threat 3. You have +1 scale, so that will be 2 damage, and then you use black shot for potency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3.
Yeah. So, do we have a new clock? Ache is filled, right?
Yeah, let me clear Ache. These boys are devourers now.
Oh boy. I have made the tiniest of dents into them.
Is it? It's not tiny.
It's a big dent.
Oh, is it? I thought it was just 1 damage.
Didn't we say 2?
Wait, 2? Oh, I don't remember. They're threat 3. I'm threat 2. I pushed.
But you have scale and potency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And your base is 2.
Oh, okay.
Right, so it's actually 3.
4. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty big dent, Rudy.
That's
Come on.
significant. My
Yeah,
math,
it's
my
it's a
Band
huge
of
dent.
Blades math after 11 streams is still lacking. Strosh, I'm sorry.
And let's say that
A tear rolls down my cheek. I'm so proud of these, the best fighting force in the entire world. That's right, world.
I think they are headed back towards like as they're swooping in, they're headed back towards Red Raging and Azure. But as you pelt them with shot, they sort of like 2 of them sort of streak back off towards you. And one of them is going to target interesting. I think they're going to go after Red Raging. As she is sort of recovering from this ordeal, right? So I think the minor complication here is for you, Ananika, is that 2 of the devourers are they're gonna get claws into pick odd or even.
Who, Ananika?
Me or I'm sorry, I thought it was Rudy. I will pick odd.
It was even.
Oh, sorry. Red Raging's dead now.
I'm over there. It's okay.
That is going to be into Crimson Vex and Gale.
Oh, who cares? No.
Wow. I know one person who might.
So I have to jump in.
Yeah, and so like they grab Crimson and like start to pull away.
I mean, you can resist that consequence.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the consequence. They're gonna pull her away, not like do damage.
I mean,
if they manage to pull her into the sky,
okay, yeah,
or him actually.
Yeah.
The way devourers work is they grab people, fly up 100 feet, and then drop them.
Oh, that's right.
If they don't tear them in half first.
Right. I will resist it. Which resistance shall I use for this, Shane?
I don't know. What are you doing to resist? How are you preventing this?
Don't get grabbed, I yell, pointing at him.
Okay.
Probably
insight.
Probably prowess to.
So prowess would be like shove him out of the way.
Yeah, that's exactly. Or try and like pull him back or something like that.
Okay.
Which I'm not great at, but sometimes you might lose someone. 6.
Oh my god! Wow. I somehow get the officer to have to do a resist and still can't get any stress on you. Amazing.
Don't worry, I really can't spend any more. I already have a trauma. I'm obsessed with not losing any troops now that Ache is dead. My former obsession. So.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that was just the complication. Now let's talk about what's going on over with Red Raging as this devourer is circling back around her to sort of grab her from behind as she is sort of clearing this cinder blood, like this kind of, I think we've described it in the past as sort of this gray-black ichor, like that she's like sort of having to wipe from her face and stuff.
Red Raging would like to do what soccer players do when they like dribble down the field, where they like fake someone out I want to like basically make the devourer swoop in for me, and then at the last minute, like, fake him out, go to the other side.
Break his ankles.
So I hate to do this to you, Sally. I love it, but I want to see. I think the idea here is that you are occupied. This has to be something that perhaps Amber can deal with.
Oh,
I think this is going
okay.
to be an Azure solution.
oh,
Got it, okay.
Or let it
fine.
happen, right? And we can see what see how good Red Raging is.
No. I mean, like, oh, poor Azure. All right, I mean,
Poor Azure. Red Raging is about to get.
no, poor me right now. I'm stressing out.
Oh, okay.
I gotta save your ass.
You mean poor Amber?
Yeah,
You're the
poor-
medic.
Yeah, and I let things happen, and then I patch them up. I'm not very
gonna be
good
a
at the
hell of a
preventing
patch.
part.
Yeah.
She's reactionary, not preventative. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna try. Stick to your strengths, Azure. Stick to your strengths. You're good at rigging.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Rig a
dead air.
lasso.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking about a net gun.
Whoa!
I
Amazing.
mean, a net gun is probably a stretch, but just
Yeah.
a net.
Okay. I use the nets to gather butterflies and grind up their. I have nets on
Oh.
me somehow,
Okay.
but they're strong butterflies, very hard to catch. but,
Cinder-blooded butterflies.
Yes,
Well, so,
exactly.
okay.
Corrupted butterflies.
So we've talked a bit about having set up traps, right? So I think it
Yeah.
totally
Mhm.
makes sense that you guys
Yeah.
would like string together some cordage and rope and sort of like hide it on the ground.
Yeah.
And one of those like
Yes.
those traps that you like trigger it and then it like the net closes around you and scoops you up into the air, right? So
Yeah.
maybe you have one of those that you can like trigger that
Yes.
might hit the flight path or something.
Okay, good. Because my next thing was to have something that I would trigger and it would shoot up, but I wouldn't have prepared for that. But this makes more sense. Okay, yeah. All right. I will roll rig then.
Sweet.
Risky, desperate.
This is definitely desperate. You're trying to use a trap on the
Okay,
ground
I
to
would
hit
like
something in the air.
to push myself to do
Love it.
this
Nice.
for an extra die. So desperate. Effect doesn't matter.
Standard.
And then I got one bonus die. 5, 2, 3.
5, 2, 3. Okay. You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, a complication occurs, you have reduced effect. Okay, so I think. Okay, so here's what I like for this is I will tick the clock for this. I will tick the clock once for this devourer because I think like you aren't able to get it 100%.
Yeah.
The consequence is like what you end up doing is like it manages to grab Red Raging, but it gets its wings tangled up in this net and is forced to almost immediately drop her.
Okay.
So like Red Raging will have the no. Sorry. It's a regular complication. So here's what's going to happen. Red Raging is caught in this net with the thing.
Oh,
devourer.
just one?
Just one devourer.
Okay.
One Red Raging, one devourer, one net.
That's how
Remember,
Red Raging
Amber,
likes
you
it.
can resist that consequence.
Oh, okay.
No. Let it happen.
But
Yeah,
it's kind
that
of
sounds
nice that they're kind of close together, so she can just punch him
It's
into
not-
the
it's
mist.
She's not trapped in there with
exactly.
it.
You
It's
can
trapped
just,
in there with her.
Yeah,
You can just set them both on
exactly.
fire.
That's right. I'm gonna wrestle this thing to the ground.
I'm like, do you want to stay there?
Leave me.
Are you sure?
I growl.
I think I'm gonna leave them
Means
be.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This time it's personal.
Okay. So I'll give you a tick because I think kind of like I mean I don't know a whole lot about birds and even less about devourer physiology, but I imagine that swooping in at attack speed and then suddenly getting stopped in a net hurts somewhat. All the more so being stopped in a net with Red Raging. But they are now like they find themselves like 30 feet in the air. Like this net is not like it doesn't have you perfectly, right? But you're both tangled in it. and you're sort of spinning around in the air. Notably, for Ash, who is keeping a careful eye with the scope that you have, I'm sure, you notice they are well above the flames, and you have a very clean shot if you can just time it on that spinning target.
So who's in the air?
Okay, so in the air right now, presently in the air, in a net, are Red Raging and a Devourer. The other two Devourers are sort of like, they came in and swooped low for Crimson Vexing, and are now like, they hit the ground and are like spinning back to like kind of leap and attack with their jaws. So they're more on the ground, but they are on the near side of you.
Wait, so are you telling me that I think it would be a good thing to shoot the Devourer in the net because it's over fire, but doesn't that also mean that Red Raging is also over fire?
Oh, I'm saying that you have a potential shot for that net, but I mean, you do what you do, I-Hsien.
No. I'm trying to get the lay of the land.
Oh yeah, so the lay of the land is they are together, right? So I think I mentioned that because I think being trapped in the net with a Devourer is still a much more desperate position than being on the ground with the two Devourers also on the ground, right? So if you're looking to be heroic, it is probably to help Red Raging. If you are looking for the like easier shot, it would be shooting one of the Devourers that is currently engaged with Ananika and Crimson Vexen Gale and Sapphire Dancing Tide. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're not doing a good job with my people, Ananika. All right. We'll see what happens if you fall. I shoot the Devourer in the net.
Love it.
Oh no.
And that's a 5.
Okay. We also should thank Uncle Fred 77 for a 100-point complication.
Hey.
Okay, so total up the what's our damage situation on that? So these are tough threat 3.
They're threat 3. I'm threat 2. No push, no black shot.
No push, no black shot.
Mm-hmm.
We have the armor piercing black shot, right? Isn't that just something we can use?
Yeah, but we still have a limited supply of black shot.
Yeah. That's just an upgrade to your black shot.
Oh yes, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and so render might be coming. So.
Oh, render's coming.
That is something I forgot.
Okay, so then that will be 1 tick because it's right threat 3, you're threat 2.
Yes.
Cool. I'll mark that tick. Now, so normally on a desperate action, it suffers severe harm or a serious complication occurs. And then we also have a minor complication. So okay, so I think the minor complication I want to be I'm going to play around with this a little bit. I'm going to make it minor harm for Red Raging, because the serious complication is that you are dropping out of this like swinging net to the ground, and that harm is when you hit the ground.
It checks out.
And like, I guess part of that complication then is that this Devourer is also free of this net. Because I think that's the...
Yeah, it was a bad idea to shoot this Devourer.
Well,
all right, then I will... I mean, yes. I will resist the worst complication.
Okay, so I think the worst complication is that the Devourer is free.
Right.
Right. So I think so Red Raging will fall out and face harm for falling out, but you can resist the complication to keep the Devourer in the net. How's that?
So how about this? I'll make an insight resist to not shoot the net in such a way that it frees the Devourer, right? Like, oh, this is where the two pieces connect. Don't shoot there, obviously. can she stay
in the
grabbed onto it, and then as she falls, it comes down with her in the net?
Well, how about, okay, so if you want to resist the whole net thing, why don't we keep just the minor harm on Red Raging is that it, like, as you shoot it, it kind of just lashes out with its talons. And that's just talon swiping her.
Okay, but then they're still in the air.
But they're still in the
net.
air because you've resisted. Yeah, exactly.
Done.
So the
Let's
net
do
is fine. It's just a little bit of like a scratch, basically.
Let's do that.
So Sally, you will have level 1 harm coming at you.
So I have both of my level 1 harms filled.
It'll upgrade to 2. I could try to resist that as well.
Yeah, either one of you could resist that consequence, actually.
Oh. How's your prowess resist? Very good, right?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I can resist that.
Okay, and then I'll do the net, because actually there's a chance you could heal stress. 6.
Nice.
Okay, so you take no stress. And Red Raging will take 1 stress. But no harm.
Sweet.
So, right. So you shoot the Devourer, and it like lashes out with its talons, and ultimately, like, you still have enough armor, kind of harmlessly off your armor, Red Raging. But yeah, it's still up there.
So it's still holding me, or the net is holding us.
The net is holding you. Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking for me to do something for Red Raging?
I think that's natural, unless Azure has something.
Nope.
Okay.
I was gonna say that Red Raging is from Panya, and probably Devourers are not from Panya, but she's familiar with Ave birds.
Yep.
And how birds work and maybe where they're vulnerable.
Uh-huh.
And so I think Red Raging is going to try to, whatever the equivalent is of like punching someone in the sternum, like something that would really take out this Devourer, and hopefully cause the Devourer to break her fall when they inevitably fall to the ground.
Okay.
I'd like to land on it as a pillow. Hopefully it's dead body, or it's close to dead body.
Uh-huh.
And I wonder, just spitballing here, if it would be a use of War Machine to try to punch a Devourer in the solar plexus. Or maybe I just wrestle it to the ground. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just wrestle it to the ground and try to land on it.
Yeah, grab its wings.
Yeah, I mean, I think like it's maybe somebody can assist you, and like, or I guess like, so actually what this feels like is maybe cutting yourself loose, right? Because what you need to do is kind of just get the whole net to fall. So how do you feel about like a maneuver to try and like position yourself so that your full weight lands on its solar plexus?
Yeah. I feel 1 dot less good about maneuver than I do about skirmish, but I feel fine.
Okay.
So if I were to fill up my stress track, I would take a trauma.
The next stress you take would cause you trauma.
Okay, but you can take 2 traumas, right, as a specialist?
Yes, but you will be out of the scene.
Okay, well, I don't have any traumas yet, but I am planning for the future because I probably am going to push myself right now.
Okay.
For another die. So we said maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this feels desperate. 1 bonus die. Oh, that's real bad. That's a 3.
Ooh.
And I do need to take a trauma.
And you suffer severe harm. A complication occurs, or you lose this opportunity. So you're going to trauma anyway?
Yeah. So hold on. So I just filled up. Yes, because I filled up my track, but I'm taking 2 stress to push. So yes.
Okay.
Wait, your track was already full and then you pushed?
No, I had one open dot and then I pushed.
Oh, I don't think you can push because you
Oh,
don't
really?
have two. You don't have two to spend.
Oh, it doesn't like go over.
Right.
No.
Oh.
But you still trauma out from the roll.
Yes. So in that
Well-
case, I just rolled
Well,
those
it
two
depends
ones.
it depends on the consequences of the roll. You could just fail.
Yeah. So I guess if I didn't push, I wouldn't have gotten that last die, which means I would have rolled a
A
one.
1 and a 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same outcome. Okay, that's fine. Game state restored. I'm fine with this. So
Okay.
I think what you do is so we talked about how you guys the pair of you were not perfectly inside this net
Mhm.
suspended, right? You were just sort of tangled in it. And as you cut the net loose, you drop and it does not. So this will be you lose this opportunity
In a huge way.
in a huge way. And so are you traumatized out or not? You are not currently traumatized out.
No, I have one more because I didn't actually push myself just now. So
Okay, got it. All right. So yeah, so you lose this opportunity, and then I'm gonna say it's minor harm for the fall itself. That is something I think that Azure could maybe help you resist.
Yeah.
Like I could see that making sense, since it's maybe more like catch her rather
Be
than her
the
trying to
pillow.
prowess herself. Yeah, exactly. She needs something to land on.
Yeah.
It could even be you.
Yeah, I offer myself up.
Azure sighing pillow. So do I roll to resist that?
Well, I'm offering you, right? So
Please
if you
don't.
want to resist it in some way, you can, but I am offering, because we know that Azure has been paying attention to this, that Azure could do your resist on your behalf.
Okay, so in other words, I wouldn't. Azure would roll for my resist.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Or just like take your harm.
Yeah.
That's I
You got-
suppose is the other way we could do
Or-
this.
You got
Or
shots,
I could just
Azure?
Or I could just watch her fall and then go.
Then go. You're
Remember-
reactionary, not preventative. We
Right.
talked
Re-
about
Pragmatic.
Remember that her level 1 harm will become a level 2
Yeah, so that's
harm.
the thing, is it's going to be a level 2 harm.
Oh, okay.
Like it'll be, because she's got a full level 1 track.
Okay. So I can only okay. Yeah, I'll run over there. Azure will run over there, and or it has been starting to run over there as this whole tangle was happening. And I don't know what's around here that's soft. She looks for a second, like, what can I do?
Mud is
And-
soft.
Your pack.
Uh,
Pack is
Okay,
soft.
start taking my clothes off and putting it all just be this soft around.
It's not the time for that.
I'm trying to help the best I can. God damn it.
So yeah, as you are seeing her like whip out a knife and try to like cut herself loose, you start planning this.
Oh, it's
Um,
like things are everything that's soft that I have, and like scraping dirt and mud and leaves as I'm running over there.
All right, so roll your resist, and we'll see how well you can do this.
I'm resisting with my insight.
Okay,
And I have a +1 to my
Oh.
insight resists.
perfect.
So I have 1 bonus dice for that.
5.
Oh. That's
5.
not right. Oh yeah, 5 is okay. Yep.
So you rolled 5 dice.
Yes, by accident. I should have only rolled 4.
Okay, but we'll take the first 4. So 5 is still the outcome. So, yeah. So you take 1 stress, and I think it is fair. The stress is you aren't able to get nearly enough stuff in the way, and you are, with a little bit of padding around you, catching your friend, who is superhuman strength and war machine
huge.
size.
Yeah. Very, very stocky and very swole.
Azure's 5'2" and tiny.
It's just
I
like
mean,
in
so-
Looney Tunes where I land and it just like drills her into the earth.
Exactly. Meanwhile, like 15 feet away across a fiery trench, Ananika, you have a pair of squad members with you and a pair of devourers bearing down on you
Oh,
with
God.
this sort of gnashing teeth in their like beaks, and you see like they have wings and like clawed feet, right? But they have like muscular arms as well, and like they're sort of like almost doing like the dragon crawl, like
Oh yeah.
when you see dragons that have like wings attached to their forearms,
Yeah.
like they're doing
Scary.
that kind of move on the ground with like surprising grace. And then like they're coming to leap at you and your squad.
I'm gonna make
What
that
do?
crawl a permanent stall and shoot them.
That's very Anika.
I will lead another shoot action using Marshall. I'm just trying to do some math in my head here. The most stress I can take is 1 on this, right? From a failure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you have scale.
I do have scale, but one of us has to succeed still. This is desperate or risky? We're still desperate because it's chaos around us, or we killed.
I think to shoot them, you're desperate. I think
Okay.
if you want to use like a melee type thing,
No,
then
no,
you're
no.
risky.
Let us continue to shoot. I have rolled
Are you sure?
a 2. What?
Are you sure?
I am. I can't
Okay.
pull back on that. I rolled a 2.
They rolled a 4.
Okay. Yeah. So I take one more
so
stress. If I
one
take
stress.
if I take another stress, Anika has to leave us because that would be 2 traumas. It fills
Ooh.
2 traumas. So that's it for
Ooh.
me. I'm pretty much useless. No, not useless, but I have. Yeah.
You got at least one more group action in you.
Yeah. Okay, so what was let's do the damage first.
Sure. So, and I will. I got 3 black shots. I'm going to use black shot. We'll see if we can finish this off. I think this will.
Okay. So you
I might not even have to use black shot.
So I think you're still
yeah,
the
see the
same
math.
size basically, right? So they're threat 3, you're threat 2.
Yeah.
Um
Scales increased.
or actually no, I think you've got an extra person. I'll say that you've got scale on them.
Oh, okay.
So you're 3 and 3, so that's just
Mhm.
2. So black shot will give you the potency.
Okay, black shot.
Because you didn't push, right?
But
No.
they also scale up.
Yeah, right. So they're threat 3 and
Oh.
like
So I just won't be
Right.
able to kill them. I don't think
No,
So
no,
the black shot. So black shot will.
yeah, black
yeah,
shot will
black
do the
shot.
kill.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Because like you have +1 scale, they
Yeah.
have +1 threat, so that
Yeah.
nets out, right?
And then with the potency from the black shot, that'll do them. Okay, cool. Yeah. The
Okay.
muskets fall off in a line, and headshots aplenty. The black shot goes straight through, and they're crawling all scary like, and then they just slump down and stop moving.
Yes. And
And a bullet ricochets back and hits me in the head or something.
no, please, Rudy, I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh, cool.
I would do that to Sapphire.
Oh.
So with I suppose there is technically still one who's alive floating, so we'll have to find out how we kill that one. But 1 second. So these two, they do that like weird crawl, leap, hop, fly towards you.
Mhm.
And like they are into your line as they finally drop to the ground, and like as you all kind of like get up from a knee and sort of pick yourselves up and recover, like Sapphire looks down, and Sapphire Dancing Tide like puts his hand his
Mhm.
He's the old wood carver,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
With like the feathered neck, and he like touches his stomach and then lifts a hand, and it is glistening wet with blood. That is going to be
No, it doesn't.
severe harm.
Protect.
Oh, Ash.
So Ash
Mm.
is perched on the side of a rock, tied in with basically like pitons and climbing gear. And of course, he sees the Devourers, dragon crawling, and thinks they're definitely going to die. There's no way they pull this off. I have no faith in them. They need help.
Uh-huh.
And fucking slashes his rope and like swings down on the climbing rope vines to intercept, I guess, a claw.
I think that's fine. So it's what would have been So same thing happens, right? Like
Mhm.
he pulls away and his hand is bloody. What we're resisting is the severity of this wound, right? So I think you get there in time.
Well, so it's a protect action, so I take the consequence. So I take the harm.
Okay, cool.
Right.
That's even better.
Mhm.
So he lifts up, his hand is glistening wet, and he's like, "Oh goodness, I am." It wasn't as bad as I thought. And then like he meets your eyes, and you have severe harm, which is
Yes.
level 4 harm.
Cool.
Because
Okay.
they are tier 3.
Let's do some math. First off, it drops to 3 because I have Panther-like Grace.
Okay.
So not dead yet. And then
That also gives you some other benefit, right? It reduces it by 1 and then also gives you a use of armor or something.
no, that's it. It's just harm starts is 1 level lower for that one.
Okay.
And I don't have armor because that's part of it. So then I roll a resist. And let's see, we will do, it doesn't matter. I think in this instance, prowess makes sense. Get hit not in a place where I die. And
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's right.
And I'm going to spend my 1 use of grit to get 2 additional dice on this roll.
Cool.
And then, so that drops it to 2. And I think that's all that I can do. So it'll be a 2, and we'll just see how much stress it costs. Ugh. A 5, that still costs 1 stress.
Okay. And level 2 harm.
Level 2. Let's call it, what? Clawed.
Slashed. So yeah, where does it catch you? Because like I think this is, you're not wearing armor, and this is someplace that is obvious enough that like we are catching it from Sapphire's perspective, right? Like
I think it's
Sapphire
probably,
looks at his hand and then sees your wound. Where
I think
is
it's like just a gash across the chest.
okay. So like your whole like you wear like robes, right?
Yeah, like thick leathers.
Okay. Well, they are rent.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's bleeding underneath.
Lovely.
This devourer, the last remaining devourer, kind of sees his brethren, its brethren, dead on the ground, and takes off towards the canopy, in full, rather injured retreat. You guys can resist that consequence if you really, really want to. but you have overcome my devourer challenge, which I should say is Falcon Wolf's devourer challenge. Okay, cool. So I think with that, we're going to go ahead and tick another one on our Horde 1 clock.
Horde 1.
Let's just assume that's a good thing. Let's go with good thing.
Well, it's
impossible.
a thing, because it is, let's say it is late afternoon, and you hear the, like, you catch your breath, right? Like you've got 5 minutes to catch a breather and like sort of patch the bleeding and things like that, and we could talk about if there's anything we want to do in that time, but you start to hear like that moaning of the gaunts again, and you know there's another wave, which you are pretty sure you can manage without too much problem, and then the sky opens up, and almost out of nowhere, right, another one of those storms starts. It doesn't have that same like ritualistic, like, I don't know, like awful color to it the way that it did over Fort Callisto, but it is clearly like you've marched under these storms before. This is one of Breaker's sort of doings.
Ash kind of growls. Wasn't she supposed to handle Breaker?
Hey, could have been the real storm. I don't know if that tells you anything about what the Horn One's clock is doing, but a storm erupts, and it starts to beat, actually, like over the next like few minutes, like starts to beat with a fury that like kind of forces you back, and into the shelter of like that outcropping, right? The moonstone, the moon shard outcropping, because the wind and like it's kicking up like debris and detritus and things like that, and you see like the sapling, which is even in the couple hours, has like already grown a little bit more, but it is getting like battered by the wind and the rain, and the rain is like the temperature is dropping, and it's like hail now, and you are just kind of forced to weather it.
Does the doctor have any things that can happen mid-fight?
Mid-fight?
Well, like I think you're kind of like, we'll call this. I think what has happened is this storm has taken the end. That is the end of the fight, right? Like it's too,
Or like on a mission, I guess. Or is this one of those times
you're mid mission right now. Like you are still on the mission. You do have this storm to deal with, but like, yeah, if you have stuff that you can spend out of like immediate combat, like this is a good time.
Yeah, I mean, Red Raging's at the feet of Azure, so Azure immediately drops down, starts taking her stuff back out, and then gets into her satchel that's still on her, and has tonics to give just for removing level 1 harm.
Nice.
So
Does it remove all level 1 or
just
one
check? So it's first aid. You can use 1 use of tonics to remove appropriate level 1 harm from any one person on your mission.
I mean, that's great for Red Raging because that gives her a level 1 slot to actually put harm in. Yeah.
And then I still, who's hurt right now?
Anyone else have level 1 right now?
Does anybody else have level 1?
No, I have level 2.
You got anything for stress in that bag?
I
Azure?
sure wish I brought.
I go bayonet Ake's body and feel better about myself. Reduce 5 stress.
Does
Anyone
Azure
got
have harm?
Some dream moss?
I do have a level 1 festering bite harm.
So I think you should take a tonic.
Wasn't there eat food or something, or was that only with?
That was somebody else.
I forget.
That's with
Tatanika.
Tatanika.
No, we didn't bring.
She was a chef.
Also an
I
adept
think
cook,
it's okay.
in addition to being a psychopath.
I could give you all
Keen
rage
knife.
venom.
We might actually kill each other. Right?
Never say no to that.
Didn't you get better rage
Yeah,
venom?
didn't she? Yeah, she fixed the rage venom, right?
Narratively, I did. I don't know if Shane will allow that.
Okay.
What are you trying to do with the rage venom? Sorry.
Well, it's like we know that
Hand it out like candy.
more is exactly. It's go pills. But we just know that there's more coming, and so anything we can do to prepare beforehand, I'm trying to give like people what they need, essentially. Like, here's this. If things get bad, take it, and then just trying to like prepare everybody, essentially.
I mean, I think we'll handle that with like a free flashback.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's cool.
But I don't know if anybody else wanting me to do. No one else has level 1, right?
No.
I have one more level 1.
Since you're our tank, I'm gonna go ahead and give you another one then.
All right.
I have 1 tonics left.
Sweet.
All right.
I have a question for you, I-Hsien. Did we build Crimson Vexen Gale from a rookie?
Yes.
Did we just start him as a specialist?
You mean as a soldier? We
sorry,
built
as a
him
soldier.
built him from a rookie because he has Devil's Own Luck.
Okay. He didn't take home cooking.
Nope.
Okay.
Dang.
So yeah, and we took
And the Star Fox is
what is Sapphire Dancing Tide?
Silver Whispering Glade is who you're thinking of, the priestess.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so she has Devil's Own Luck, every inch of Panyar, and Jack of all trades. So she's like the weird rookie who only has rookie skills. She does not have home cooking
And never learned to cook. Fine.
right. But she also has a trauma soft and got to make it out alive to give her an extra trauma. But
did you take Crimson Shot, Ash, or no?
Nope.
Okay.
You can't really make. I looked. You can't really make good use of it without a bunch of aim.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
I realize now, if I was to ever play this game again, I would take moral support as a special ability.
Arun was considering that. It seemed like a thing he would do.
Okay, so you do have a bit of a problem here, which is that this storm looks like it could actually damage this tree. So you yourselves are able to like kind of weather the storm under like kind of this outcropping, or at least like enough of an overhang to shelter the worst of it, though you're miserable. But the tree itself is kind of sitting out and exposed.
Okay, I use channels to have brought a tarp.
We have that shield.
I'm
From
serious. Does that work? I like a heavy
Yeah,
tarp.
no, that's a
with-
great use of
we can
channels. I
make-
just
we
like
can
how you're
use-
just like,
Right.
no, fuck it.
Wait,
Premise rejected.
yeah. Rudy, hold on. Save your channels because you can get a lot more shit. Why don't I just scrounge for a tarp-like object?
Oh, sure, that works too. If you want to use.
I mean,
I could
there
get
is a
another
shield,
flare gun
right?
if we need another flare gun.
So yeah, I think Amber, the third time you say it, the boys will listen to you.
yeah. There was a shield, right?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that full of cinder blood?
I
Wait,
think-
Just-
what if we
it's
put cinder
raining.
blood
Oh,
on the
don't put
plant?
cinder-
No, so I think that's what you'll do though is like you'll scrounge like those bodies, right?
Mm.
That have actually because they've been burned, like that armor is probably somewhat purified. So I think you can probably like construct something to like kind of first shield yourself from the pelting of hail and whatnot, but then like sort of build some type of barrier against this storm to protect
right.
the tree. So yeah, so spend your scrounge. I think that's good.
Yeah, I basically scrounge for shelter.
Look at that. Spy Master has to gather all this stuff. Still a soldier.
Do it myself.
Still a soldier.
Do it myself. I'm very
Every
good at
man's
it.
a rifleman.
Yeah, I don't clean latrines though.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so by now, like the storm has sort of like taken the sun out of the sky. But like this goes on long enough that you know it's like darkness is setting in, like it is into the night. And like how are you maintaining watch? Like what are you doing to make sure you don't get ambushed while you kind of hang out under this outcropping? Because you're able to do a little bit of work in this. Like who knows if the dead could maybe make an approach.
Can I spend a use of my bandolier to give people owl sight owl oil, or at least somebody?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that has a disadvantage if it's
It's light sensitive, so if
Okay.
if a crack of lightning happens,
Oh boy.
yeah.
I blind you. I'm just giving you options.
Can we quickly set up basic noise traps to kind of help us?
I mean, it's a storm. I think it'd be hard to hear,
No,
right?
that's
Like
true.
there is thunder. I mean, probably not so much lightning.
Oh,
Lightning is probably not a big deal, and probably not even like unless if Breaker is directing lightning strikes near you, I think that would be a problem for your owl sight. But I don't think the lightning in the
What?
sky is such a problem.
I
what if we
mean,
just do it in one eye?
Mm.
like a pirate?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably just best practice. That's why
And
you're
then
not completely blinded.
And then it could be two of us.
Right.
Yeah. Just stand next to each other.
So Ash can scout, and basically like take shelter in the canopies of the trees.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I assume make some sort of depending on what the rain is. Like I could make a corruption resist or something.
No, it seems to be natural. It's just
Interesting.
just
Okay.
powerful.
Yeah. So I could scout. How long does the owl sight last? 24 hours. Oof.
So we'll go to tomorrow. So it's a risk.
That's not worth it. See at night, but not see render. Yeah, so I guess unless anyone else has other or better options, I'll scout.
Cool. Roll me that.
5 and a 6. All right. 6.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. So, this storm continues unabated all night.
Bleh.
It grows in intensity, but not significantly more severe, right? And I think with your scout, what you have done is you have found enough shelter for yourself that you are not adversely impacted by it.
That's good. I've
And-
also got the lenses, so I'm also basically keeping watch.
Yeah, exactly. And I probably should have asked this question earlier, but who currently has the Star Fox?
The priestess doesn't have him still.
Yeah, I thought we said that, or I thought we said.
I mean,
thought
it
Red
has
Raging
been time, right? I maybe for the fight, but like who
Oh
has
yeah,
it
yeah.
now?
Okay, fair.
Right?
Didn't the Horn one give it to Red Raging? Am I wrong about that?
Oh, you're right.
So would Red
For the
Raging
ritual,
have
at
given
least.
up? She never took it back. She actually gave it to you after the ritual while you were holding the.
Oh, to lead the.
while you
Yeah,
were
right.
escorting the
Mhm.
sapling.
Right.
So would Red Raging have done anything like given up the Star Fox to anybody? At any
Ash doesn't
point
want
during
it.
this?
I think placed it only because she knows that she's gonna like get involved in some like really heavy fighting and be in the shit, and she wouldn't want the Star Fox to be endangered. I think maybe she would give it. Silver Whispering Glade is like not taking part in combat, right?
Not unless absolutely forced.
Okay, so I think probably, or maybe Azure, but I think Silver Whispering Glade just because they're even more combat adjacent than Azure, because Azure's like in the mix, like healing people and stuff.
Okay. Cool. Good to know. At any rate,
I want to pet the fox. I am about to have a nervous breakdown, and I still don't get it because I'm not Panyar. So I want to go over and I want to look at this fox real close, and maybe it'll make sense before I probably die.
give me an intuition fortune.
Intuition.
Isn't that
Insight?
Sorry.
Insight.
Ugh.
Okay, cool.
You good?
1. I don't get it.
Still doesn't make any sense on any.
Cool, I'm gonna die
my
for a
God.
fucking fox. I go back with my musket and just shake my head.
Can I ask about one order of housekeeping business?
Yes.
You mentioned that Red Raging, if she were to stay alive and make it to like kind of a midpoint, that I could level up.
Mhm.
Would it be okay for me to do that?
Oh.
You can,
Yay!
because it ends up this storm lasts 3 more days,
Oh.
Whoa.
which wears on your nerves quite a bit. Though you are spending the time with the fox, so everybody will clear 2 stress.
Oh!
Hey.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Um,
Foxy.
Thank you, Fox. Now I get it, sort of, kind of. A
Do
little
you?
bit. No, not really. But I tell everyone I do. Just because.
And we choose to believe you.
Can I use my lifeline and ask I-Hsien to help me pick a special ability for Red Raging?
So I was just looking, but it's your prowess clock that filled up. So you
Yeah.
got to fill a prowess dot, not a special ability.
Oh, right, of course. Doi. Okay. Skirmish it is.
James just gave 1,200 bits.
What?
Oh, Devil's Own Luck for all players is how he wants to spend it.
Ooh.
Well, well,
does that
well.
mean?
James.
That's +1 to
Free push for everybody.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's
Devil's Own
sorry,
Luck.
Devil's Own Luck.
Aha,
Yes,
that
the
one.
donation tier.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a free push for everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, James.
Convenient.
James rules.
We'll need it.
James is good.
If it doesn't help, can James get a refund?
Um,
No.
no.
And we have one community push as well.
And you
Yes.
yes, you do.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, this, I believe, is the 12th day
Oh boy.
of our 14-day cycle.
Oh yeah. How's the
Doesn't
plant
feel like
looking?
Christmas.
Is it a? Has it grown more in 3 days?
Oh, it has. Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, does Ash have more scout?
He can scout again.
Or not scout, sorry, scrounge?
Nope.
Cool. So this is
Now we use the shield. Now shield's a great idea.
No, you've already got the shield.
Now it's tarp time.
Yeah, you've been stacking the armor as high as you can, like kind of like trying to wrap it around the trunk, right, and literally armor this thing. And it is now growing. Like it is taller than you are now. Like it's a solid like 8 feet tall. It's still very like narrow, right? Like think I guess like a pine tree, I guess, or like almost like a Christmas tree, you know, where like, but it's still young, so it's not like real wide at the base, right? So like it's not spreading out wide as it grows, but it is growing taller.
They grow up so fast.
I know they do, they really do. But yeah, so like you need to figure out some way to protect it because it is outgrowing what you've been able to scrounge in the past 3 days.
Ooh.
Now is it channels?
Yeah.
If I can't get a crimson shot because it has no value, then sure, let me just spend the 2 channels on that. Yeah, we got all these. So the other thing is,
you can still shoot the crimson shot, right? It's threat 4.
well, I have a question. So if
Yeah.
I don't have the crimson shot ability unlocked, does that mean I can't? Because that's an advance for a sniper.
So here's what I would say is
Okay.
that the roll that you need, because it requires a sway
Yes,
roll
it
in order to
requires a
get
sway
it,
roll
right?
for the
So the
quality,
sway
yeah.
roll required to get crimson shot if you are not a sniper or if you don't have a sniper
Mhm.
is just going to be harder,
Sure.
right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. I have 1 use of channels left, so I couldn't reroll. All right. I'm thinking. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think we just have to use channels.
Or
Unless
or
anyone can
rig.
think of another
We could
idea.
rig something
Oh,
up.
that'd be good. Sure. Because I can also use channels as a means to
Yeah.
push for another, or to assist for free.
Yeah, you've got to give me some narrative
Just can you-
explanation
yeah,
for what
can
you're
you think
rigging.
of something?
A bomb.
Oh, that's all I know how to do.
Healing
Will a
bomb.
bomb protect this tree?
Yeah, we know she can do
Anti-rape
that.
bomb. Yeah.
No, I know that you can like take rope and like build supports, but we need to like figure out a way to shelter from like the wind and rain is what's happening.
Hmm.
Like hail even.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hail. Okay. Yeah, so I think we'll try to do like a lattice work, or I try to like string ropes together to make like a tight weave, I guess, from all this the nets we
Oh.
used for the devourers, and try and make like a canopy over top of it. And since it's rope, we can like keep pushing up. It'll be long enough that when we need to push like wood or whatever we've got laying around, it'll continue to grow with it. Does that make sense?
You can get
That work?
taller.
Well, I mean, it's growing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's growing taller. Yeah, sure.
Very
I mean, I
strong
think like
lattice.
you've got to.
Like we're trying to like I'm trying to keep the hail off of it, but also not crush it with the weight of the supports. That's why I'm using
Right.
rope.
Right. Yeah, I think, and I think you've got to do like some fallen branches and things like that.
Yeah.
That will provide like leaf cover, right? So almost like
Yeah.
it's almost like you're building like a makeshift shelter around the tree.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So like
yeah.
4 poles or
Yep.
whatever, and then this lattice worked rope.
Cool. I
It's
mean,
beautiful.
this is hard work. It's 3 days of work that you're doing this.
Yeah.
And, like, constantly adding to it. Like you guys are a little work camp basically,
Hmm.
under the watchful gaze of Ash. But you were able to do this. Yeah. I like that. That works.
Okay.
Let's see how well it works.
As a
Roll me
rig.
that rig.
Just a controlled
Yeah.
standard. Okay. No die bonus.
Hey.
Hey,
6.
that's a
Cool.
6 and a 5.
Cool. On the 12th day, the storm breaks.
Yay.
And a couple hours later, into camp steps the Horned One.
Hooray. Maybe.
She
How's she
is-
doing?
She is She looks exhausted. She is limping visibly. She has a like a poultice that she has like strapped around like the left side of her face. She has stag horns on her head. One of them has been literally like cracked, and is now just like a spike rather than a full rack of antlers. She looks like hell. But the storm has subsided. And as she limps into your camp, she kind of stumbles and then collapses.
Yeah, I'm like rushing. I'm like, does she look like this is severe? Like this is really bad?
She's a broken who just collapsed in your camp. It looks pretty bad.
I've never tried to heal this is like stuff internally. I've never tried to do this. So
this is what you are made for. Get your notes out or get some Star Fox blood. Go ask for Star Fox to give you more blood.
No,
friends,
I think
you get it.
Yeah, I think Azure immediately starts tending to whatever open wounds that she sees, gives her the medicines that she does have, and just starts tending to her.
Are you doing anything with Star Fox? Are you offering Star Fox blood or any other weird Star Fox thing?
No. Okay, Azure has some presence of mind to not try and do too weird of things, but maybe bringing the Star Fox over as like a comfort would be a good idea.
Okay, cool. I like that. Give me a roll for this.
Do you want me to do doctor? Do you want to use one of my uses of doctor?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to spend a doctor. What does doctor do otherwise?
I can use doctor to like there I have an ability called not today. So if somebody takes a level 4 harm, I can immediately treat them and it goes down to 3.
Got it.
Right, but what's like the baseline doctor?
They use spend a use so they ignore all wound penalties for a scene.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think that's fair. Like that is exactly the use of doctor, and you're using it on the most powerful person in camp. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and roll it. 4.
I don't think you have to actually roll it.
Okay.
You just
I
spend.
just spend it. All right.
Which is cool. So you take her into the like cover of the outcropping. You like the Star Fox is there. Like you start dressing and tending her wounds with tonics, and you are Panyar, so I imagine probably a couple prayers as well.
Dream moss.
And no, yeah, I smoke and. No.
Hot box the broken.
Yeah, no.
A broken? What'd you say?
Sorry, the chosen.
Hot box
you
of
should
chosen.
see my rig. I'm vaping it.
Yeah. Shotgunning her.
The Star Fox is actually kind of like an active, like almost like nurse. In that like when you like look at wounds, like it kind of like nudges her or like will actually like lick her wounds, like physically.
Oh, Star Fox saliva. What does that do?
Oh my god.
Or is it feeding on her?
Taking its
And
what I mean is Ash is very touched by this. That's what I mean. Okay.
After a couple hours of, I think for you, probably pretty frantic work, or at least nervous work, she kind of opens her eyes, a little bit disoriented, and she's like, where are we? Where am I?
We're back at you're back here with a tree. You're
I
with
made
us
it.
now.
Oh,
Yes.
I made it. Okay. Have they attacked?
Yes, and we took care of it. No problem. Great job. Poor Azure. Just no casualties. We're still good. Trees growing.
Just one initial wave.
Yes.
And then the storm.
Yes.
Okay. I was able to. She pushed me to my limit, but I was able to stop Breaker.
Kill?
Nice.
No. But I think it's just render.
Oh, is that all? I mean, well done. Thank you. Now we have a fighting chance.
Did you suffer for Breaker's rage?
What?
The
No.
storm, her rage.
Oh.
Did you suffer for it?
No, we set up a little like overhang here for the plant. Look at it. It's so tall.
For the
It's
plant.
taller than you.
And she like looks at it, and it's it is taller than her. And she just has like a little bit of a smile on her face, like a little bit of hope. And she says, I think, well, we won't know until we find out what happens with the rest of the Legion, but if you can stop Render, I think I've forced Breaker to withdraw. The wolf is dead.
Oh, that's good. Wow, cool.
That is extremely impressive,
Yeah.
and a boon not just to our efforts, but, well, to the world.
As the tree has grown, I have been able to wield more power. I think even I am able to accomplish superhuman feats with Nyx in proximity. The time is nearly upon us.
What news of Render? Do you know what we're up against?
What news of the Cinder King?
We are, of course, prepared, as you did, to push ourselves to our limits, but it would be good to have as much intel as possible.
And she does the thing again, right, where her eyes roll back in her head. And this time, like, it is like 20 minutes before she kind of comes back, and she's like, I believe Render withdrew, which is why I was able to catch Breaker. Render did not support her the way she expected. And in the process, he has recalled some of your old friends.
Didn't we kill all of our old friends at this point?
No. So talking about the Knights of the Black Oak.
I hate them almost as much as Greymane does. I'm obsessed with killing all of them.
It's very convenient.
You're channeling.
And
Greymane right
I will say, this is an upgraded threat because he would have come with gaunts.
Oh.
Cool.
So that is
Well,
the third and final.
They're human too, right? So the armor-piercing black shot won't do any
They are armored.
super bonus. Yeah, okay.
So yes.
Wait, are they undead?
They're not undead,
Okay.
but they are armored. So your armor piercing will still give you the
Sure.
potency.
Okay.
I'll whatever. I'll allow it.
Yeah. But we could have had double potency.
Double potency.
The dream.
I mean, there's still Rage Venom.
Yep.
Oh,
I
we
gave
do
you
have
all pills.
stress. No, wait, no rage venom. Red rage is going to
Everybody.
kill all of us.
I mean, as long as also she kills everything else, that's
true.
great.
Star Fox
Can't make an
pieces
omelet.
everywhere.
Well, Not cracking a few legionnaires.
And
Oh.
yeah, I think with that, she passes out again.
Put a blanket over her.
Yeah, that's nice.
Tuck the Star Fox into her
Yeah.
little so that they're spooning.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
And then we'll lay her out in basically the most secure section of our makeshift camp, just in case. Who knows when Render shows up,
Yep.
or if she wakes up.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now that Ache is dead, does that fill up my Ache rivalry clock?
Yes, your Ache rivalry clock is full and clear. You have space for another rivalry.
Oh,
Ooh.
boy. Can it be Knights of the Black Oak?
I
As
mean,
a whole?
sure. It doesn't. Why? It doesn't give you anything.
Gives
Peace of mind.
For flavor's sake.
Yeah, it
Flavor.
gives,
It's starting to
gives
stomp
that
on my
good
narrative.
flavor.
You don't need a clock to have flavor, Rudy. Like, the
How
flavor
else
was
are we
in you all along.
All right.
Yeah, where's Pete? He's got plenty of clocks. Yo, you want clocks? I got clocks. Yeah, you like clocks? Yeah.
So with that, I think a few more hours pass, and Ash.
We're basically just doing exactly what we were doing before, which is scout, prep,
Yeah.
snare, traps, all of
Right.
that garbage. We have no idea when they'll show up.
Yeah, exactly. And as you were doing that, like, you are basically rebuilding your, sort of fortification plan. Ash, you become aware of a presence that you have maybe never felt before. That is the presence of, like, the feeling that you're being watched by somebody who's as good as you.
That sucks.
It is.
And you, I think, well, yeah, how would Ash react to that? Like, would you...
Immediately dive into the nearest cover. Like, it's a weird, strange feeling. So, like, if he's out in the open, basically, like, dives to the ground and, like, near some, like, low brush. If he's near the canopies, then immediately, like, without looking for where it is or who it's, like, where it's coming from or who it is, he ducks behind, like, a thick tree, waits a few beats, and then basically pulls out the glass and tries to figure out where the hell this is coming from.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so I think you play a game of cat and mouse for the next couple hours, trying to figure out exactly where this is coming from. You're able to pretty quickly, like, you almost have, like, a sixth sense about these things, right? Because you're a scout. You get the sense pretty quickly that this is somebody who is reconnoitering you. And knowing now that there are Black Oak Knights, you may only know by reputation, or maybe from, well, as a spy master, actually, definitely by reputation. The Black Oak has a very famous scout, in fact, by the name of Xenia, the Sable Arrow. And it takes you, like I said, it takes hours before you're able to actually get a beat on her. And when you do with your scope, you see this young-ish woman, actually. She's younger than you would expect, with raven hair, with a like a quiver full of arrows that look like they are just this, like, I don't, like sickly wood, and the feathers in the, like, fletching of them are, like, they look actually like devourer feathers, right? Like this terrible, like, skin almost, right? Like something horrible. And she has a spyglass on you, and when she sees you finally look her direction, she waves, and, like, kind of tauntingly, of course, right? And then disappears into a shadow, and this little game continues.
Great. Pete and Ash did come up around the same time. So of course, when he spots her in the spyglass, it's and then ducks.
She didn't have a weapon drawn, right? She is known as an archer. She had her bow with her, but was clearly just keeping an eye on the proceedings.
Great. Okay, I'm not shot yet, but I think I know how I go.
And as night falls on the 13th night, this little game of cat and mouse for you continues.
Wonderful.
I think you have a very uneasy evening. You have a wounded chosen. You know that you have a very, very capable assassin basically stalking you. But the night passes, and you are awoken in the morning, a few minutes before dawn, by the blowing of a horn. One that you have heard many times before in many a battle. Each and every one of you recognize that like no other. It is the horn of the Black Oak Knights calling their advance. And it is, some mile away, right? Like it is, you have time, right? Of course, it's not a surprise. Like you have some time to deal with this, but like they have announced their intent. They will overrun you.
We knew this was coming.
Try to
There's
wake up the horned
obviously
one.
no retreating.
Yeah. All right.
Horned one, wake up. Horned one,
Gently.
hello.
Yes.
You feeling better because you're close to the plant?
I am alive.
We're about to be attacked. Just FYI. So
Good
we'll
morning.
defend you, but you
What?
could help. That'd be great.
Who will attack you?
Knights of the Black Oak.
What day is it?
Tuesday?
How many days left?
Oh.
I believe
Look
it's
at
about
Ash.
one.
It's like
One
one more
day.
night. Yeah, it's
One
one
more
night.
night.
She rolls her eyes into the back of her head and
Oop.
comes back. She
Oh,
says,
okay.
I am no match in my current state for Render himself. But as clever as as clever as the Sable Arrow is, she can be reached. And I think like you have like a little campfire, right? You don't have any reason to hide your location. And I imagine you have a little bit of like breakfast broth. And she takes kind of a bowl and then a long sip from that. And she pets the star fox that like is kind of curled up in her arm, and hands it to Red Raging, and then says, protect this tree and you will be a legend. And she transforms. What form would she take?
Tarask.
Oh, right. Yeah, duh. When somebody gives you the choice.
There's nothing in the rulebook that says she can't be a Tarask.
Yeah. Doesn't she
What,
usually
like,
choose between 3 or so? I thought. Remember.
I mean, she always chooses forest animals, but like,
Yeah.
what animal would
A
she
stag?
hunt
Is
a
it-
huntress with?
Oh,
Owl.
Yeah, owl, wolf, forest animals, huh?
What lives in the forest?
Weasel.
A stout.
What if she looks like in the Star Fox, but her colors are inverted? So she looks like a fox too. Foxes are
Oh,
OG,
interesting.
right?
They are, but they're interesting.
Like what kind of animal you want to be associated with? What was?
Well, she's going to hunt
Oh,
The scout. The
sable.
well, like a falcon or something, some sort of
Oh
raptor.
yeah, falcon.
Yeah, bird of prey.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, close enough to a forest animal. So when she transforms, like normally, she kind of transforms as she walks, and you've seen it, right? It's a strange process.
I
It's
look
almost a
away.
little uncomfortable.
I don't care for this.
It takes a little longer than normal.
Ooh.
And like as she tries to like pull her arms in so that they can like transform into wings, right? Like it's not quite as smooth as it always is. And you can see like there's a pained look on her face. But she ultimately does change and takes flight. So let's cut to our friends, the Black Oak Knights. They stand at the... Well, okay, so they are coming. How are you arranging yourself to deal with them? And I'm asking you the same question, which is, like, they have scouted your defenses, so they know how you'll be. Like, they know what you've prepared. They don't necessarily know where you'll be because she is hunting their scout, right? So they won't have immediate knowledge. However, like, the question becomes, will you face them in the forest or will you face them in the clearing?
I don't want to leave the plant.
Well, I mean, we could be up in trees, watch them pass by us, drop down, and like surprise them from behind. I know that puts them close to the tree, but we'll be on them essentially.
And Red Raging will be on the tree, and Red Raging can be like is a squad.
You're not a fan of that?
I'm not good in a close fight at all. Like,
Okay.
I'm a shooter type.
Okay.
And that's what I want to do. Like, it's kind of boring, but that's what I will do. I will lead shoot actions over and over again. Unless Shane starts deducting potency because it's boring.
I mean, then maybe we just all make a last stand at the tree.
That's what I'm
Okay.
thinking. Yeah.
Right.
I think Red Raging...
It also means that
Dropping
we can all
down.
help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
idea of Red Raging dropping down into the middle of them and just taking that rage. Take that rage venom. Ain't no friends to hurt when you're surrounded by enemies.
Yeah, go into the trees, Red Raging up, and then like drop
That's,
behind them.
I mean,
But the
The
horn,
annals will remember you fondly.
so hang on.
but the horned one told Red Raging to protect the tree.
That's right.
Well, so hold on. That was not a so fair, but that was also a rather loose order. Here's what I will say is that you know that that Render himself is marching with them, right? Because that's what she said. So, like, presumably, being as Render is Render, he will send them forward first. So perhaps you let them underneath you, and then you drop down on Render.
Oh my goodness, Red
Hopped
Raging.
up on that
That's how you...
Red Raging
Red
venom.
Raging Render Killer.
So that would be the interpretation of protect the tree, which is just like make sure you win,
Listen,
not
the
like
best,
stand next
the
to the
best
tree and
defense
protect
is
it.
a good offense, right?
Okay.
I
True.
wouldn't know that, but yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. I do that. I hunt Render.
Red Raging Render.
Yeah. I love this. Okay, cool.
So Ash is going to stay with the tree.
I guess I'm leaving the Star Fox. Am I leaving the Star Fox or am I bringing the Star Fox in case it can be helpful? That would make him vulnerable, right?
What? So we got this tree going. What is the point of the Star Fox now? I'm just confused.
Well,
as to
they're
the Star
connected,
Fox.
right?
Yeah,
They
we
are
need-
connected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so that's a good question.
Can we ask the fox what it wants to do?
Oh.
I don't know how you would do that. How would you do that?
Hey, Fox.
This is not a puzzle. Like, you tell me.
Yeah,
how would
yeah.
you ask,
I
right?
mean,
Like,
I basically would just like, basically put it next to a tree and go, would you like to stay here? And then move it away from the tree to Red Raging where it's standing near the
Put it
Whatever.
halfway between red raging
Yeah.
and the tree,
Yes,
and see which one
exactly.
it loves more.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was getting at.
Okay.
It's intelligent enough.
Okay.
Any other better ideas?
I mean, what about? Could we ask the priestess?
I don't think. Yeah. So I think you can ask. Silver.
Whispering
Silver
Glade.
will say like, I do not have the connection to it that red raging does.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, we'll ask red raging.
You want me to ask the fox if it wants to come with me?
How would you do that? Like, how would red
I know.
raging
I'm
ask
thinking
the
about
fox?
it. I would basically kind of what Amber said. I would set it down by the tree, and then I would walk away from it, and I would get on all of my, like, I would get my sword or I don't have a sword, get my spear and my maul and like what's left of my armor and make it like so that the fox can see that I'm very clearly like getting suited up to go somewhere dangerous, and then stop and lock eyes with it, like, and like motion to me and see if it wants to come, like as if I like explained, like, do you want to come do this dangerous thing with me that I'm about to do, or do you want to stay with the safety of the tree, and just hope that our like Poniard connection can communicate this. His little fox brain.
I need a roll.
Okay.
So just
Sway.
one thing here, and maybe this is an assist. I think Ash will sort of come up behind you and not say anything at first, but hiss, and then say, "You are a soldier and a very good one, but you are also a lion."
And red raging will like she keeps her hair back. She has like a big golden lion's mane that's usually tied back for battle, but when Ash says that, she's gonna like take it out and just let it like fly. So she's got like she's looking even more like her Poniard self, like even more like an animal than a human to the fox.
Nice.
What am I rolling though?
So I feel like this is an insight.
Wait, just like straight up insight?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a fortune roll. It's not an action, right?
Oh, okay.
There's no negative consequence. It's just
to
can
see.
you figure this out. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So it's a 1.
Okay.
Wait, so does
but
can you
you gave
assist?
me
Well, can you assist on fortune rolls? I don't actually know.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I'll take the stress if it'll give an extra die.
Okay, so I'll roll again. Hope it's better than a 1.
You also have a free push.
Oh,
Better than a 1.
I feel like it's cheating because I just rolled it. I saw that I rolled a 2, but
It's fine.
yeah,
It's free.
roll
You can.
again?
I'll
take
let
the
you,
community push.
I'll let you take the community push.
Yeah.
okay, so just roll one more.
Yeah.
Is it take the community? Okay,
Yeah,
is that
that's we all have individual ones.
Yeah, everyone has
Okay,
those.
okay.
So,
This is definitely a community one.
3?
Oh, boy.
Roll 20. You are broken, and I'm throwing my computer in the trash.
That's amazing.
it is too fair. That's the problem with.
So that's
RNGs.
a 1, a 2, and a 3 on your 3-die roll.
Mhm.
And who says nobody ever fails in this game? Yeah, I don't. So the fox chooses to come with you,
Oh dang.
Oh.
but I don't think you understand why.
Okay.
Because that was a fortune roll. There's no that isn't a, there's no consequence. That's why it's a fortune. So, yeah, I think the fox chooses you, and it's not clear why. So let's do a little bit of accounting for this fight. We've already talked about clearing the 2 stress from those knights. I think we aren't regaining uses of special abilities, but if you would like, I think we can recover 1 armor.
Cool.
for anybody who has spent an armor, which is just sort of the makeshift patchwork of
Can
what
I
you can do.
give my shield to Red Raging? Will you allow this?
Red Raging, will you take a shield from Ananika?
Would Red Raging take the shield? I think yes. Okay, because Red Raging knows that her mission is really important.
Cool. So then, yeah.
Can Ash take a grit or a scrounge instead?
Instead of armor?
Mhm.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think grit. You can have a
Oh.
grit.
Could I have a channels
Cool.
back? Because I also don't have an armor to
Oh.
refresh.
Okay.
I
No,
would
it's
put
fine.
Doctor
I mean,
back
letting
as
me
well.
give her my shield is also pretty special, so I'll take that. Thank you, Shane.
Yeah, I think you can get the armor back. And that's just because
yeah.
specifically like Ash uses grit instead of armor. Like that's what we're
Yeah,
covering
yeah.
here, right? Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool.
Now I would like another engagement roll.
Oh boy. Okay.
Sally,
And I'm going to
Sally.
shorthand this, so we're just going to call it 2 dice.
Oh, well,
Because
I get
I think-
a bonus to engagement roll.
Okay, so then +1.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just rolling this as Mal, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
ignore all the questions. Like we'll just
Right,
call
right.
your answer for the questions was you ended up with 2 dice, which is basically 1 + 1 for all being soldiers or better.
Got it.
And then the answer, you get the +1 for having Ananika.
Cool.
Okay, so 3 total.
3 total.
5. 4. Well, yeah, 5.
4, 5, 4. Okay, cool. So 5 it is. That means we will start in risky position, which feels to me like we get exactly what we want, which is you see them gather on the edge of the like you see these knights line up. They are on foot. Each and every one of them is behind a shield. They all have either swords or spears in their hands. They are heavily armored, and they sort of just arrange in a rank at the edge of the clearing, and like they will begin marching forward.
Means we brought pikemen. We didn't bring pikemen.
Didn't bring
But
pikemen.
that'd be
Flashback.
We can't have pikes, yeah.
Channels.
I will take a trauma for that flashback.
We have black shot laced pikes, right?
Ooh. Yeah.
And yeah, so they are heavily armored and simply just walking forward. In a I mean, there's a dozen of them, right? Like they're elite in a big group. But they are just walking forward. They certainly seem to just intend to take their losses on the approach and overwhelm you, because they outnumber you basically 2 to 1.
Okay, so
Sounds about right.
we have to distract them and make it seem like there's no one hiding in the trees ready to jump down.
Great. So shall we start triggering all of those traps that we set out?
So
Does.
here's what I think happens with this risky. I think you have, and I will track this as its own thing. You have 2 traps, because your traps are in the clearing now. They had the scout on you basically the entire time you were preparing. So anything in the woods, they've seen. So you were able to kind of like, once you settled on how you were going to deal with them, and the horned one left, like you were able to set up a couple traps in the clearing, which means a couple traps relevant to whichever direction they attack from, that you can trigger at any point, just like we did last time. But they have to be relevant for being in this clearing, not necessarily in the woods. So, but yeah, they are walking forward, and then sort of steadily picking up their pace until they are basically like a light jog towards you to close this space. Given like the type of weapons you have, you know that you will maybe get a shot off before they're at like poking range, right? So You'll get one for free. They will deal with that, and then after that, it's up to the tide of chaos.
So can we decide when to set off the traps, or do they hit the traps?
Yeah,
or-
no. It's
okay.
that is just like no. So
Okay.
you'll activate traps just like we did in the previous fight.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
So who wants to go first? You have not seen Render yet,
Hmm.
but you have heard actually. Like when they advanced moving forward, you heard a voice that like echoed like grinding iron. A voice you have probably never heard before with your own ears, but one that you have heard by reputation. It is definitely Render's voice that has ordered them forward, but he is still far enough back in the trees that you have not yet seen him.
And Red Raging's in the trees, right?
And Red Raging is in the trees. They have, you're in risky position, so they have not spotted you.
Okay, cool.
As long as you stay in those trees, you're good. So
Alright.
they are jogging towards you.
I'm trying to think.
Shoot.
Trap or shoot? Which first? Does it matter? What do you guys think?
I mean,
I'll shoot. I'll lead a
yeah,
shoot.
you're the officer. You're the officer.
I'll
Yeah.
lead a shoot. Marshall.
Okay.
All right.
I can participate in this as well, right?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
might as well.
Or do you want to rig the traps instead?
I could do that
Yeah,
too.
I think that's better.
Okay, I'll hold off
We've
then.
got the NPCs. Okay. Marshall.
The kid's got a 6.
Okay.
Nice.
And by kids,
So-
I mean the soldiers.
That's no failures, right?
Correct. That's no
So
failure.
no
So that's
stress.
free.
Yeah.
That's no stress. And they are successful. You have a scale problem though.
We
In that
are
you're
still
smaller scale than they are.
Even with the increase from my we guys got some bits. Thank you, New York NYT Aider.
Oh, thank you, Tater.
Hey.
Ah, great.
Nice.
A complication
Yes,
to
Tater.
a roll.
I'm gonna save that
Okay, cool.
for a bit. Yeah. So you get +1 scale. Is that how it works?
Yes.
You fight as one scale larger, so you would be medium sized, and they are large.
Yeah.
So so that'll be -1.
Oh boy.
And then you succeeded. So yeah, so that's 1 tick on them.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna hold the armor piercing shot.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Whatever. It's something.
Oh no.
There we go.
Problem with my Photoshop like fill is that sometimes if I fill too much, it just takes away the lines in between. Okay, cool. So yeah, so the first salvo of shots rings out, and one of the knights falls, like
Nice.
just sort of in that like old timey like War of 1812 style of like two lines like walk up to each other and shoot, and some people fall over. One of the knights just falls, and it doesn't slow the others even a little bit. They are continuing to charge, and in fact, as they are now bearing down on you, they are like starting to accelerate. They're no longer kind of in perfect like shoulder to shoulder rank. They are now starting kind of like getting a little like jagged line as they are moving faster towards you.
Okay, I think it's time for the traps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Should I have 2 in rig? Should I push myself for this?
Do you have the stress to spend?
I have 4 empty boxes right now.
It's also a free push.
You also
Free
have a free
push.
push.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna use my free push for this.
Sure.
Cool.
Risky.
Risky.
Yes. Yeah. 1 bonus die, please. 4, 5, 3.
Cool. So that means you do it.
There are consequences.
Okay. What does your trap look like?
I think we're doing the same as last time. Fire, the oil trap.
So this is like an oil trap.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it depends if
Well, I
we-
I don't feel like you've had enough time to dig the trench.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like, is it just like
can I
oil on
do-
the ground that you're igniting?
No, I want to.
Bomb.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. But like a shrapnel bomb made of pieces and parts of like the armor.
Oh
from,
yeah, if we broke down the armor into like
yeah, like how we have.
pointy bits.
Yeah,
Cool.
Love it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I let you guys know,
Duck.
Duck.
Another one of Azure's special claymores.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a minor complication, and then you also had had a 4/5, so there's a consequence. I kind of like as minor complication that the trigger doesn't hit. So you aren't able to like get it remotely.
Okay.
Like for whatever reason, like as you pull the like string
Yeah.
that's supposed to like set off the like accelerant, it doesn't.
Right.
And you have to run up and do it manually.
Okay. No problem.
So that's the complication. The result of that will then be that you suffer harm.
Sure.
Because that's the actual thing from your like 4/5.
Right.
And I like you're. That's probably not the way they're supposed to work, because if you resist the complication, like the harm still happens separately. But I don't know, whatever. It's a free complication. I guess the complication is that like you are now out of position.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have had to kind of run forward to trigger this thing, rather than like wait behind the line.
Sure.
So.
I can resist the harm or resist the complication.
You can resist either one or both, but you resist them separately. So.
Can I resist the complication with insight?
Yeah.
Then and then just use armor for the harm and stuff.
Yeah, I think that works.
All right. 1, 5, 2, 6. 6. Woo.
6. Okay, so no stress for that. So I think what happens there is like you pull it and you're like, oh shit, and as you start to get there, you realize like, oh, it's fine. Like you were pulling from the wrong place or something, right?
Yeah,
like
gotcha.
So you're able to like get eyes on it and get it triggered without having to go all the way to it and trigger it manually.
Sure.
Unfortunately, you're still sort of in that area.
Yeah.
And so so the harm is level 2 because it's just regular harm.
Okay. And then I can use my armor to bring that down to level 1.
Yep. And then you can also resist that with.
And I'm going to resist that with
Prowess
what would you
resolve.
I'll do prowess.
And that's sort of you yank it and like kind of leap out of the way.
3, 4.
Okay, so you'll take 2 stress.
Okay. It's a right.
No more spending stress for you. Oh no. I'm sorry. You used the push. I forgot.
Okay, so that trap, I'm gonna say that is because it's sort of more of an area effect kind of thing. You're able to get like half of them in it, so you'll again be at -1 scale, and then it's just the regular 2, so that will be 1 more tick.
Whew.
And then Ash is gonna set off the other trap.
Sweet.
Series of snares, I think, is probably what we would have had time to set up with basically a vine leading back to where we are. So
cool.
So
how do you feel about maybe like you snare them and then shoot them?
Snare,
sure,
yeah.
Right. So that way, like you're hitting, you're hitting them for like.
That's so yeah. The snares go off and then I can do a shoot or a scout. It's actually both the same.
Yeah, whichever one you want to use to trigger the snares, but like kind of the damage part of this comes from you shooting them.
Cool, that works.
That feels like a very Ash way to do, is just kind of line up people where they are and then headshot them.
Which it actually was, because that's a crit.
Yay!
Okay.
Yay!
So that's increased effect. So that's just two ticks then, because like it'll be the same sort of like your -1 on scale because of the traps, and then +1 because of increased effect. So
right, and still holding black shot in reserve.
Right, cool. All right. Cool. Yeah. So like through this, like some of the knights are weakened. There's one knight who is snared, and you just like you catch a clean shot like straight through the gap in his like neck. Between his helmet and his like gorget, and you see he just doesn't get up off the ground. Another one you kind of put a shot kind of through the helmet, and looks like dazed a little bit. And yeah, they are charging into the group, and like so we will figure out what that looks like. But behind them, some probably 30 yards now, stepping forward, arms crossed with a Well, actually, stepping forward in this like solid black armor and wielding a massive metal sword, like sort of arms crossed, arms across his chest with the sword just straight up in one hand, surveying the battlefield, with a like very very pale skin, no helmet, very pale skin, and this sort of like burning handprint across his face, steps somebody that you have only ever seen in your nightmares, the broken bone render.
Yeah, we're all gonna die.
Conveniently, he looks to be somewhat close to a tree with a certain red raging in it.
What a coincidence. Okay. Covered in black armor, you say. Any places where that armor doesn't meet up?
I mean,
Perhaps
definitely. I think
No
you're going to
helmet.
have to find them.
Okay. Can I all right, so this dude is like a Cinderblood kind of guy, right? Where a reliquary would have some sort of use against, he would cause corruption to me in some way, right? He could.
He could. Yeah, like I mean, if he were ripped into shreds and bled all over you, yes, for sure. But like he is not, that is not his typical thing, right? He
Okay.
like Render's whole deal, like from dealing with his armies, right, is just military prowess, like the rage of war, like like cunning strategy and just brute strength.
Okay.
He doesn't really go for the occult.
Okay, that's great because that's Red Raging's thing. So
This is strength on strength for sure.
right. Okay, great. I was gonna do some kind of flashback where Red Raging asks Azure to like make some sort of use the reliquary to make some sort of poison tipped weapon, but it sounds like that's not necessary because I can just like crush him with my hands or something.
I mean, I think a poison tipped weapon will definitely tip the scale. I mean,
I recall meeting with the quartermaster and saying,
well,
"Hey,
hang on.
quartermaster."
So
Okay.
for reference,
Yeah.
Render is a broken. He is threat 5.
Yeah, you need to
So,
reduce him.
Don't get hit.
One, he hits minimum 5. But more importantly is like you need to get to 5 damage just to like overcome him, right? So
Okay. So
anything you can do to level the playing field will be a good idea.
I definitely would like to have a flashback with
Well, let me use channels and you get it for free. You don't have to spend stress.
oh dang.
So I request a weapon specifically for killing,
Coated in that sweet render poison.
yeah, or some sort of reliquary or blessed a bunch of times or something like that. Does
Yeah,
that
I
make
think
sense?
blessed makes sense.
Blessed,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, cool. So that's a sway roll.
Can I see? Oh, fuck it. I think I'm just gonna have to jump on him and try
Can I
to
push this?
jam a weapon into him.
Push the sway.
Yeah, for channels.
I don't think there's any reason you couldn't.
Okay, then I will use my free push for this because I want to make
So
sure.
keep in mind you can also spend extra uses of sway to upgrade after you roll. I don't know if you have extra
uses of
left.
channel.
Or sorry, extra uses of channel.
I only
yeah.
have one left.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm going to use the push because I think this is very, very important.
Cool.
Fuck. I rolled a 4.
Sorry.
Four's
my cat
good.
just leapt.
4 is good enough, but 6 is better.
Four's okay.
4 is
Four's
okay.
fine.
4 is fine.
I think so with a 4, knowing that this was the mission, you are able to get one weapon that has this treatment, and that is Red
okay,
Raging's
sure.
weapon.
Cool. That's cool. I'm cool with
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So you now have potency against Render.
Okay, sweet. Will that stack with like rage venom? I'm just thinking I'm gonna like double up on
Yeah,
some
sure.
stuff.
It all
I'll
saves.
let them stack. I don't care.
Okay.
You're
Last
going
session can't hold anything back.
right. You're going 1v1 with a broken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
true. I keep my capsule of rage venom in a false tooth.
Oh, I love it. It's so badass.
I just take that out.
Roll
Take
rig
the
to
old-
see how good that tooth is.
You just bite down on it. Arr.
You crush your own tooth.
It's so bad.
Okay, so I got the rage venom. I got the poison weapon. So would War Machine and Anchor also stack?
Yes. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So I think that the superhuman feat that I would like to push myself to do is
It does not have to be more extreme than 1v1 a broken.
Okay.
That is
Because-
pretty fucking rad.
I want to fly out of the trees like Arya Stark, but like not with a dagger, with like my maul.
Okay.
And I just want to just bring it down on his stupid face.
Like
I love it.
Gallagher smashing away.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna pull. It's called pulling a Gallagher.
Yeah.
After
Okay, so
like the second commander of the Legion, Gallagher.
Exactly. All right, so I would like this to be a skirmish.
Love it.
Okay, I'm gonna push myself. So let me give myself 2 stress.
You
Would you
use
like a
your-
devil's
free
bargain?
push.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Would you like a
bargain.
devil's bargain?
You also have the free push that we got.
Interesting.
Yeah, you don't have to spend the stress for the push, but
that's
you can
right.
actually do both pushes, right? You can push for a die and for effect if you would like. But I will also offer you a devil's bargain.
You probably
Remind me-
aren't gonna get to hit him again because he might kill you in one turn.
True.
So maybe go
Wait,
all
so
out. yeah.
Can okay, so let me, before I consider devil's bargain, let me just say what we have happening.
Yep.
We have the rage venom and the poison weapon. We
I
have
feel like I should write this down.
I should
Yeah.
probably do
Should we
that.
just do the math right now to figure out where
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are?
we should absolutely do that. So, okay, so we have
potency from the
Rage Venom and
Rage
the
Venom.
special weapon.
special weapon. Anchor
weapon.
lets me fight as a squad, small squad.
Okay,
Scale.
So I don't know. Does that mean
so that's +1 scale, which gives you
+1
basically
scale.
effectively a +1 because he's a scale of 1.
okay? When you push yourself, so reduce the War Machine reduces his threat by 1.
Okay.
Did I say anchor yet? Yeah, small
Yes,
squad.
you did.
Free push for another potency.
And then there's pushing for
Effect.
effect.
Effects.
So yeah, you can push free for effect or push free for a die.
You're
And
pretty
then
great at
The
Bend
Devil's
push,
Bargain
right?
can also get you +1 die, but you don't know what that is yet. So you don't have to make the push decisions. I will offer you the Devil's Bargain.
Okay, let's hear
the-
that devil's bargain.
The Devil's Bargain is going to be level 4 harm, because once you get in with him, he has a massive sword and he is a literal he is a demon on the battlefield. Like he will cut you.
Okay.
That is just inevitable.
Can I push and take a devil's bargain if they're for different things?
Yeah. You can take. So you can push. You can actually push twice in a roll. You take 1 for a die and 1 for effect, and then you
Okay.
can also take a Devil's Bargain.
So, but if you roll poorly, then it's going to give you maybe
That will-
additional harm on top of the level 4 that you
Right,
will be getting
exactly.
from it. So you will almost certainly be dead.
Well, here's the thing.
Just don't roll
First-
poorly.
First of all, I'm not going to roll poorly.
Okay,
Second of
cool.
all,
Nope.
this is Red Raging is like Born to Die because she's trying to do
Sure.
something legendary, and also it's the last session, so I feel like
Right.
you know
Okay, yeah.
go,
That's
go
it,
out
yeah.
swinging.
All
Also,
right.
the fort doesn't
Your blessed
necessarily kill
weapon.
you, right? Because you do have the shield.
Yeah.
That's true.
But if
Yeah,
it
the
And
becomes
4 doesn't
I
necessarily
another-
kill
if
you.
it
It's
becomes
managing
another
the 5 is
4,
the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another 5. Yeah.
And if
then
you
that's
yell
dead.
loud enough, maybe Azure will hear you. And get you
She's
quick.
got that
Yeah.
resurrection
Yeah.
thing she's
Right.
been working on.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can actually take 4 and still make it.
Nice. Okay.
So are we taking the Devil's Bargain?
I'm going to take the devil's bargain, and also, but if I take the devil's bargain, I can't also push for.
No, you absolutely can.
You can do it all.
You can do it all.
Oh, I thought you couldn't. Okay. I thought we discovered early on that you can't push for the same thing the devil's bargain gives you.
Oh, you're right. You know what? You cannot both push yourself and accept a Devil's Bargain for
Oops.
+1 die.
Oh, well-
Which is okay. You can still push yourself for effect.
Effect. Yeah,
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
which is the free push. So you're basically avoiding 2 stress by doing that.
I would take the stress over this devil's bargain. Because you would.
Oh, I'm taking the devil's bargain.
All
but
right,
I'm
all right, all right.
All right,
I
so
actually
I'm
think
actually
that's the better way to do it, though.
A tear rolls down Ananika's eye from a distance. She knows what's happening out in the forest.
Could feel it.
Okay, so I'm not actually all of these are like a fact, I'm not rolling any bonus dice.
Well, if you take
One.
the bargain, you're rolling 1 die.
Oh, right, I'm rolling a die. Okay. All right, so this is going to be 5 dice. So I feel like that's
This is-
pretty
Good. Got to be a 6 in there.
And you have rolled every other number on your last 5 rolls.
That is
So
so true. I'm rolling 5 dice, so let's see what happens here.
Yeah, you're due.
quantum dice roller. Come on,
Quantum
roll
dice
20.
roller.
Mama needs a new pair of
Hey, the first thing
6.
you rolled.
The first one is the 6. Oh, my god. So
God.
you
My
rolled in
God.
order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
is-
1,
That
2, 3,
is
4, 5,
absurd.
4, 6.
Lame.
Well,
That's not random at all.
tails.
At any rate, it's a 6. So
Yeah.
that means you do it and you have no additional effects from render.
Hit him in his stupid face.
So
Yeah.
that is okay. So 2. let's start with everything on your side of the ledger. So base is 2 damage. Our base is 2 ticks, plus 1 for rage venom, plus 1 for blessed weapon, that's 4, plus 1 for scale, that's 5. And then plus 1 for the push, that's 6 ticks.
Whew.
Now
And that's taking into account his threat being reduced.
hang on. So
Okay, sorry.
now he is threat 4 instead of threat 5, and you are threat 2. So he subtracts 2 for the difference in threat. That is 4 ticks
Against
in
threat
one go.
5.
That's like a
Wow.
super crit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Whoa.
You destroyed the world.
Halfway there.
Okay. So that means that you have done to render as well as he has done to you, which is so you come flying out of this tree, right, with your maul in hand, bring it down on him. You aren't able to quite catch him like for the Gallagher shot to the head, but it catches him, like knocks him off balance from his shoulder. I think feels about right. And then he lashes out with this like wicked looking sword that just catches you just straight through the belly, like just the slashing. On any lesser Panyar, you would be holding your own intestines in your hands right now. But on you, Red Raging, what happens instead?
Is this when I resist?
This is when you resist, yeah.
Okay.
I hope this isn't a Thor moment.
Would it be really cool?
Taking a headshot.
It would be really cool if I have, what are like the metal gloves that you wear?
Gauntlets?
Gauntlets, and
Yeah.
I like grab the blade before it like can go in too far.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but then I guess whatever harm I'm not able to resist, my hands get all sliced up. I mean, depending on.
I
what
mean,
can resist.
I think, and also I just think part of it is like you are slowing this blade down, but I don't think you're able to stop the swing entirely, right? Like you're kind of wrestling him with the sword as it's stabbing you.
Nice.
So you can spend your armor for that, and then it's level 3 harm, and you can resist that on top if you would like.
I would like to do that.
Okay, so this is a
Prowess.
Okay.
Can I push on resist?
No,
Okay.
because the resist is just you roll the number. Oh, actually.
Oh, sorry. I just should have waited for you to finish talking, and I rolled.
I don't know. It would never be a good idea to do it anyway.
just spend
you would
stress
never spend
to
2 stress to
possibly-
maybe
yeah.
save it. But so
Yeah,
yeah,
good
so
point.
you take 0 stress for that because you rolled a 5, 5, 6.
Sweet.
Wow. Okay. So that's level 2 harm now.
what was your other level 2 harm?
No, I didn't.
It
I had
doesn't
2
matter.
level 1 harms.
You're
I think I
right.
resisted a level
Sorry.
2 harm.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that sounds right. And so that level 2 harm is bone rended.
Penalties from harm are 1 level less severe. Does that mean
okay.
it becomes a 1?
Yeah, so you're ignoring the penalties from your level 1s, and now the penalty that you take for that is the is the penalty as though it were level 1. So it's still a level 2 harm, but you're taking the -1
I
die
see.
when it's relevant. I think is what
Less
level 1 harm
effect.
is. Less effect. Okay, so it's -1 effect when it's
Okay.
relevant.
Cool.
Frankly, skirmish, it's probably going to be relevant.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cool. So, how does Render react to this? He has just been hurt probably more from any single mortal than he has been hurt in 5 years. And like you see, like as you like smash into him, like that arm actually goes like fully limp. Like you have like literally smashed his collarbone. And so he is now like kind of fighting one-handed. He didn't have a shield, right? But like what is his giant two-handed sword is now his giant one-handed sword. And like you see he has no like physical reaction to pain. But you can see like the like sort of smoldering handprint across his face like glows like a hot coal that you've blown on. Like it smolders that much more deeply. And like he kind of just he has that voice, like that gravelly, like grating voice of iron, right? And he says, "I will enjoy watching you die."
Red Raging just roars like a lion.
Yeah.
Cut to what's going on back with the those knights. I think what happens is you guys are kind of circling each other, right? Which has got to be weird for Render to match anybody like an equal in combat.
So they're on us, yeah? We've set up our traps.
They're on you.
They're on us.
Yeah.
So now
So
we
I think
have to...
you are now in the point where like this is probably your last reliable shot.
okay.
And like we're in that skirmish stage where like if you miss, they can just stab you, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. So we do have a shoot, or I mean, I'm leading an action. Whether it's skirmish or shoot is really dependent on what you say, Shane. Because
so I think it's skirmish, but you can skirmish with your guns. Still,
okay, cool.
Because you're at very close range.
Yeah.
But like you're still able to use guns effectively.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's just that they can like you can shoot a gun at somebody who's stabbing you, right?
Yeah. So I'm actually going to use discipline here because when we get smashed into by the Knights of the Black Oak, I'm sure everyone gets a little spooked. But I say, if you don't kill these Knights of the Black Oak, I'm going to kill you because I'm obsessed with killing them. Cool. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
This is risky or is this desperate? Risky.
This is risky. Yeah.
Okay,
this
cool.
is. I mean, this is two lines of professional soldiers crashing into each other.
All right. I rolled bad.
So before I roll and before we know the outcome here, Amber or I-Hsien, are either of your characters going to be involved in this shoot?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'll
skirmish.
Go. Oh, is it skirmish? Yes. Then
Okay,
I will.
Cool. Thank you.
Well,
Ash's
let me
probably
ask-
got some more tricks up his sleeve, right?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Well, so here's the thing. Can I we're at basically the moon rock, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a big craggy rock. Ash wants to basically like duck, reposition, pop up, shoot as either a scout or a shoot
Into whom?
into like individual knights.
Okay. So do you want to do that as part of this action or not?
Can I use scout or shoot for that? If not, then I'll be part of this action.
This is a shoot action, so yeah.
This is a skirmish.
This is skirmish.
This is a
shit,
skirmish. I think I think it's fine. Like I think you can. I think
Okay.
you. I see what you mean.
Although actually,
no, 'cause it's-
maybe we should actually join together for effect.
We'll probably meet same scale, Shane. At this point, we've knocked down enough of them that everybody acting together.
Yeah, I think if you all act together, yeah,
All right, let's do that then. Let's just
Okay.
do that.
yeah.
E11, roll good.
Yeah,
This is a skirmish.
this is a skirmish.
Oh, this is not good. We'll see. Nope, that's a fail.
Okay, so we just got fucked up.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Well, the good news for you, Rudy, is that Ananika only takes 1 stress because we
Yeah.
rolled a 2, a 3, a 1, a 2, and I-Hsien, you had a
2.
2. So that's a fail. Things go badly. You suffer harm. A complication occurs. You end up in a desperate position. You lose this opportunity. I think this is going to be level 2 harm at the 2 soldiers because they are sort of the front line here. They will die if you do not. Both of them will die if you do not intervene.
So
does
are they? Well, hold on. Are they as one, or is it you have to protect? If I protected, will I protect both of them?
Yeah. So you
Okay.
protect the harm, and anything you reduce the harm, like one fewer people die.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
So
So because they're basically rookies.
Yeah.
Other than being threat to.
I'll use both of my armor to shield them.
So you jump in front of them.
I
and
jump
then
in
use
front of them,
armor.
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't mean it when I said I'd kill them. It wasn't for real. I protect them.
Cool. Okay. So the knights are into you, and they are trying to. You get the impression that they are trying to drive you back because they don't care. All they need to do is chop down this tree. And so they are like they slam into you with shields, and just try to drive you back. And yeah, I think that's what they're doing. Like they're just shoving you back. Like they're stabbing with swords and their like spears and stuff. But like they're not concerned with necessarily killing you as much as they are trying to take ground. One of you should do something.
I have an idea, but it's a flashback idea. So knowing that we've had to protect this tree this whole time, can we say like 12 days ago when we first sat out to protect this that we dug pitfalls around?
Okay. That feels like a flashback that's going to cost you stress.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I have 2 to spend.
Okay. That feels like.
I mean, I can take it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, somebody else could take that, and
Yeah.
then you could activate it.
But basically, like this is like we knew that this push was probably going to happen, and that if they're trying to finagle us, that we know where the locations are, we could like kind of maneuver them into the position to fall into these basically shallow pitfalls.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's cool.
Okay.
That's basically like you're flashing back for one more use of a trap, so let's call that 1 stress.
Okay.
Cool. I'll take it.
Okay.
So then I think it's probably maneuver to kind of get them into it, right?
Yeah. Do you want Azure to do this? Are we doing like a group thing or?
How's everyone's maneuver? I don't have a lot, but
I have 1 Pippin maneuver.
that's basically it. How Rudy? How are you?
Just 1.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think if you
I mean,
do
we
this
only
as a
need one
group-
person to succeed.
Who still
Here's
has
what
their
I'll say:
free push?
if you do it as a group, you'll get it at scale, right?
Yeah.
So like if you do it individually, like you won't have the scale on it.
Right.
So,
Can Ananika lead another?
Yeah, I already acted. Will you let me lead another, Shane, or?
it's kind of more up to you guys.
I'm
I mean-
totally.
You all
I'm fine with
participated.
it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll lead it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Risky.
Does anyone want to use their push on this?
I use mine.
We can probably save.
If I take 2, I have the ability to take 2 stress right now, but if I
Did you use your free push that we got?
I already used my free
Okay.
push.
Okay, so it's just Ash. She's still gonna hold on to it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh boy, I rolled a 3. Hey.
So I'm not pushing myself because I'm afraid to trauma and be out for the scene. So
Cool.
I roll 6.
That's a crit.
Hey,
That's a
So we
crit.
crit. We crit.
Yep.
Take that.
and a 4 from Ash. So I don't know. Do you take any stress?
I think
1. Yeah, 'cause she
mine.
failed.
Yeah, I failed.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
So 1 stress for Ananika. Yeah, so we got a 3, a 6, a 4, a 6, and a 4. And yeah, so you have the ability that gives you a crit when any 2 people roll a
Yes, exactly. They stack.
Nice.
cool. So this is increased effect. We said because you're all doing it, we'll give you scale. So that's 2, 3. Yeah, let's call it 3 ticks.
And scale goes up still from my thing. Lead a group action.
Yeah. So
Oh.
remember, you're like, you don't actually outnumber them, right? Like you were down, right? So it was like you were fighting 2 to 1, and then now you're like fighting it even.
Yeah.
And then you have
And then
plus
I
1
scale us up to give us,
yeah, exactly. But that's okay, because 3 ticks. Good lord.
Got him. Almost.
Almost. Yeah, they are. I think you get a couple of them in there, and this causes like a break in their push to where you're now able to kind of maneuver around and like turn this into more of like a scrum than it is just like a line. Like they're basically you've broken their shield wall, right? So now you're able to actually maneuver around them and fight them rather than just dealing with the shield wall.
Yeah.
But some 30 yards behind you is a giant pale man with a fiery scarred face and fully blacked armor, fighting against one very, very pissed off Panyar. And I think you guys are circling each other, right? Like sort of sizing each other up. What does Red Raging do?
Okay, so is he gripping his sword with both hands now, or is one of his arms out of commission? Is that what
I think it's like out of commission, yeah. And so here's what I'm doing. Normally he has potency in close combat. You hit him so hard with one hit that he's lost that potency. So he now
Cool.
like he was fighting at threat 6 in close combat.
Wow. Broken.
My God. Okay.
You might fill his clock. He's still probably not going to die. He's he's a broken.
Yeah, we don't know how to kill them, right?
Yeah,
Nobody knows how to
exactly.
kill
Like
them.
yeah, exactly. Like even if you
Knock a tree over on top of him.
Right.
Just to
bury
hold
him.
down. Yeah.
If a safe falls on his head.
But then he opens it and walks out unharmed.
We got to get the dip. We got to find the dip. That's
Yeah,
the
we have to
only
get
thing.
the dip. That's what is the only thing that can harm them.
you could throw him down the what is it?
Oh my God, into the gap?
The Great Gap, yeah, or the Gap, yeah.
I think he just falls forever.
Yeah, he
Done.
just
Great.
right, exact same difference.
Oh yeah, that's such a good point. Now we know what that gap is for.
Right, disposing of trash, broken trash.
Broken trash.
I would like to basically, okay, first let me just say that the Star Fox is like in a backpack on my back because I haven't left it. And
that might be where it started. It is now clinging to you, looking more and more like a fur collar or even a lion's mane than ever.
Okay.
It is across your shoulders and it feels like a part of you.
Nice. All right. Hold on tight, buddy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for because this dude's thing is like brute force, and I'm just going to try to humiliate him by out brute forcing him if at all possible.
Love it.
So I'm going to hold up my maul. Is that a two-handed weapon? Maul?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
so
yes.
Okay. And I'm going to actually, no, I'm not even going to hold it up. It's actually like I'm holding it down by my side, and Red Raging is going to just lock eyes with him and say, I'm going to break you again. And then I'm going to pick up my maul and I'm just going to roar and just fucking charge at him with everything I've got and swing like I'm swinging a baseball bat into him and see if I can take him out.
Okay. So are you, what are all the things that you're using with this? Because we know you have Rage Venom and a Blessed Weapon. That happens regardless.
Yeah. So then if it is considered a feat of physical force to take on this dude, then War Machine.
Yeah, for sure.
And I will use my last anchor to fight as a small squad.
Okay, so I think instead of doing this as like one big swing, why don't we say this is just like you pummeling him?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like just sort of like over and over again with just like a rain of like hammer blows.
I'm
Love
gonna
it.
John Henry him. I love
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna
this.
steel driving Panyar.
And you have to push yourself too, right? To
Yeah,
activate
so-
that War Machine.
Yeah, so you need to push in order to do that. So you'll have to pay the stress for that.
Right. Okay. And then
And are you pushing for
I-
effect or a die?
I'm gonna push for a. Well, okay. Is my injury having been bone rended? Is that causing me to have one less die for effect?
That is causing
Or-
you one less effect. Yeah.
One less effect. Okay. So then I guess my push be for effect?
Mhm.
Yeah.
To even that out. Okay.
Yep. Would you like another devil's bargain?
Yes, please.
You're already a little injured. He's already a little injured. It will be level 3 harm, and you will lose the Star Fox.
No, don't do it. No, don't do it.
The devil's own
What do you mean by
bargain.
lose?
You will be separated from
It
the
will
Star
misplace
Fox.
it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I thought you
Oh.
meant
Oh.
kill it, like chop its little Star Fox
Oh.
head off.
I mean, that might be the very next thing he does.
No.
He is, of course, a broken. He can act on his own. But
That's not
we
worth a
play to
die.
find out.
That's not worth a die.
God, this is why they call it a devil's bargain.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. If it wasn't
I
tough, it
don't-
wouldn't be a good bargain.
It's true. I do not think that Red Raging would do anything to put the Star Fox in harm's way.
Okay.
So unless the devil's bargain was like you kill Render, but you lose the Star Fox. So
I mean, no.
no, I know. I mean, I'm not saying that
that.
should be that, but I'm saying that's the only circumstances. Okay. So I'm not going to push for another die.
Okay.
So okay, so I'm just gonna roll skirmish.
Cool.
Big money, no whammies.
Uh,
A 5.
whammy.
That's not a whammy. A 5 isn't really a whammy.
Anything that's not a 6 is a whammy against this guy.
So you suffer harm. He's at -1 threat and he's lost his potency. So he's at 4 threat, you are threat 2. So it will be level 4 harm coming at you. So think about how you're going to deal with that.
Okay.
And then the damage you deal to him. So it will be 2, +1 for Rage Venom, +1 for Blessed Weapon, +1 for Scale. That's 5. -1 because you're injured. That's 4. And you pushed for effect. So that's back to 5. And then the difference in your threat level is 2. So that will be 3. So
Okay.
3 more
I'll
ticks.
take it.
That is wowie.
Oh man,
Not
the
again.
cavalry's about to come up. Don't worry, just hold out a little bit longer.
Okay.
We didn't bring any horses.
We
The cavalry's on foot.
metaphorical cavalry.
Level 3 harm, you say?
Level 4 harm.
Level 4 harm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That was some like wishful hearing. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to use my shield, which is my last use.
Okay.
And then it's all about that sweet, sweet resistance.
How much stress do you have left?
Well, Rudy, it's funny you ask. Not a huge amount. I have 1 box.
Oh,
All right.
Oh
I mean,
man,
are you resisting with
No,
prowess?
Don't do it. Well, I
You want
guess
me to
you're
take
not
a level
dead.
3
I'm sorry.
harm?
I do.
Yeah, I take a trauma. No big deal. NBD.
All right. Well,
either
then
take a
you
trauma
lose,
or die.
You lose control of her,
Oh, that's true.
I mean, it's
which
fine.
is fine. Like we're about to get there. Like
Yeah.
after next turn.
She's been pretty heroic, I think. I mean, like in terms of her own
Plus-
like arc, so she's
I
fine.
mean, you're gonna roll a 6. Doesn't even matter. You're gonna roll 2
Yeah, it's totally
sexes.
fine.
You're gonna reduce stress right now.
Well, I did roll 1 6.
Oh!
Hey.
hey.
Okay.
Nice.
So, you take level 3 harm? No, you take level 2 harm.
Mhm.
Right?
Which you treat as level 1 harm.
Right.
Okay.
What's well? What is the harm?
Okay, so let's think about that. So you were like kind of pummeling him with your axe,
Yeah.
or sorry, with your
With my
maul,
maul.
right? So just sort of like bodily beating him,
Mhm.
and you're like mostly catching armor, right? Like he's full of cinder blood. He's very tall. He's just a massive like monster,
Mhm.
and like so he is easily just kind of like meeting your maul with full strength, like with a gauntlet, and shrugging it off, right? But he still has this weakness on his left side where like his arm is not quite fully mobile, and you're able to kind of work that in, and I think what happens is like he like draws you in this sort of like chaotic like series of swings, because this is all rage venom induced too, right? And I don't think you notice with your like rage venom haze that he's produced a dagger in that weak left arm, and so you just get a little too close and kind of you feel it just in your like in your thigh,
Okay.
as you like step into it, and like there's just a sharp pain in your thigh. You continue this rain of blows, but as you kind of separate again and look down, there is this nasty black dagger. It will be 2 more corruption.
Okay.
Oh.
I can resist that though, right?
Yes.
Oh, but does that? Okay,
But-
hold on. But stress-wise,
Yes.
how
Continue.
much stress did I take from resisting that harm?
0, because you rolled a 6.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
You
Everything's
have
all
to
right.
decide if you want to resist this corruption.
I how many did you say? 2?
2.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that sweet corruption.
Yeah.
Just so you guys are aware, normally things that deal corruption at their threat level. So he's doing a little corruption,
because of
not
his
like
weak arm. Okay, good.
yeah.
If you're
Oh,
corruption,
no, just because he's not a corrupting
oh, because he's render,
monster,
or
right?
not-
Yeah, exactly.
not
Like
render.
corruption isn't his thing.
Sure.
Like if you fought like Breaker
right.
and she was casting
She
spells
was-
on
she
you,
was- she
it would be
was
like
spelling us. Yeah.
6 corruption
That
at a
would-
time.
Oh my god, that is scary.
Yeah.
But and her threat still is 5, even in like close combat. If we were like sorting her up,
Wait, sorry, what?
I know she's a magic person, but she's still like super bad. Wow. Okay, cool. I'm happy we chose.
Yeah, she's still threat 5 in her own way.
Yeah, gotcha. If you fill your corruption, are you also out of the scene? When you take a blight?
Maybe. I guess it depends on the how you get the blight.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Cool.
Last stream of the season. I mean,
Yeah.
we play
I
to
was
find out.
curious. Yeah. Cool. Let's.
So are you taking the corruption then, Sally?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I have 3 full and 3 empty now.
Okay. So the knights are still up. Render
Yes.
is severely wounded. And he is a literal fucking broken. So when he wants to go, he goes. And this time, as you circle, you kind of come apart from each other. This time he takes the lead. And in a style that is not unlike your own, except with a giant sword, he is going to just like try to overwhelm you with the fury of his sword swings. Red raging. This will be level 5 harm.
5, you say? I didn't know it went up that high.
I think 7 is your head explodes. I think
Yeah.
actually, I think it actually is.
Yeah.
Shane,
Yes.
I would like to suggest a thing. Let
Are
me
you
know.
are you about to tell me that whenever there's a question of who goes first, it's you?
That is true, but okay, so let's say a flashback. I don't know if it's okay, let's call it a flashback. Okay. So Crimson Vexing Gale's thing this entire time that he has been a character has been that he just shows up places, right?
Uh-huh.
He like fucking moves like a whisper.
Uh-huh.
So my flashback, I think I would like it to be just a little while ago, like a minute ago. We're fighting the Knights of the Black Oak. There's a scrum, like they're falling into pits. And then in the chaos, Ash and Crimson Vexing Gale, who have worked together for years, like sort of lock eyes. and Ash just like quietly says, do whatever is necessary. And then Crimson Vexing Gale disappears. And the ability that Ash took is from the officer.
Oh, is it obedience?
It is obedience.
Oh boy.
An NPC squad mate sacrifices themselves on your orders. They die and absorb all the harm for you or another specialist from an attack.
Oh, dang.
So Crimson
perfect.
Vexing Gale has disappeared, spirited away across a now empty battlefield, is hidden in the grass as these two giants circle each other. And instead of Red Raging getting stabbed through the gut, Crimson Vexing Gale does what is required of him to save Nyx, and the Star Fox pops up and takes it instead.
I love it. I don't see how you can use that ability without it being a flashback, so I'm not even charging you stress.
Lovely.
Yeah, so
Nice.
Render
Ugh.
makes his swing, right? Like and in this flurry of swings, and like you're kind of like holding your maul in two hands, right? Like you have a shield, like what's left of your shield, and it's battered and literally falling off your arm. You're trying to just use anything that you can to try and get some leverage back on this. And when he comes in for that death strike, in steps Crimson, and takes the strike that was meant for you.
He was my oldest friend.
What do you do?
Well, I think I am just in shock, and I use the opportunity to like find my footing again.
Mhm.
And I make a note to like give this dude the Panyar burial of a goddamn lifetime. And I
Mhm.
say like a prayer in my head, maybe under my breath in Panyar.
Mhm.
But I use the opportunity to like gain my position again.
Okay. What do you do with it?
Attack render.
Roll it.
Okay.
And because you set this up, Ash, is there a way that you would like to assist with this?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he's actually, so I think by now he's probably sort of like worked his way up onto part of the moon rock itself. And as he sees Crimson Vexing Gale like die, he'll just sort of like throw his head back, bare his like snake fangs, and let out this like high keening trill of a hiss that I think everyone can hear, including Red Raging. And it's the same hiss that he made right before he was like, "Remember, you are a lion."
Oh, so it's an inspirational assist.
Weird, huh?
I know. I thought you were going to shoot a gun.
That's how Panyar shoot guns.
I gotta save the black shot.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's +1 die for the assist then, Sally.
And I take a stress.
Yes.
Okay. So I have no more anchor uses, but I will use War Machine. No, I won't, because I don't have the stress. So this is just a roll.
Okay, I will make you the devil's bargain then, which is that you will immediately trauma to get this. So I'm basically, your devil's bargain is you are allowed to push past your limit, and you'll trauma right now.
Okay. For a die, or
for a push, I use it however you want.
Okay. I need to phone a friend to see how I want to use it, because so War Machine, War Machine, his threat is reduced.
Yes.
I have less effect because of my harms.
So you're at 3. 2 base, 1 blessed weapon, 1
Rage Venom.
Rage Venom. So you're
And then
not
minus
you're not
1.
hurting him yet. Still, you're at 3. He's at 4.
Okay, so I should.
Wait. You can still War Machine with the push, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that still reduces his threat.
Yeah, it's a 4.
But
Right,
it's 2.
so-
2 is your starting.
Yeah, but she has less effect because of her.
Got it.
injury.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So unless you crit, I can't think of another way for you to give yourself more potency or effect.
But so I should push for effect though with the devil's bargain, not a die, right?
Yeah. So what
that wouldn't be
Rudy
right.
is,
Well, actually, so Shane, I have not used my free push.
okay.
Can I take another stress so that Red Raging can use it?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
How are you? What are you doing? Are you taking a shot now?
Yes, now I'll take a shot.
Okay.
And this is very obviously, well, at least to me, Ash knows this is a distracting shot.
Sure.
Right.
You just need him to turn his head for just a moment.
Exactly. I need him to move just a little so it doesn't go through his eye.
Yep. Cool. All right. So yes, then you can have the +1 effect. Sally, you are guaranteed 1 tick here.
Okay.
And a crit, who knows? And you also have +1 die.
Okay, +1 die, +1 effect. Okay.
Sorry,
So-
you were guaranteed on a success. Sorry, I should clarify. That's an important distinction.
Red Raging also in response to Ash's like trilling is going to roar in response as if it was like a call and response and then run at this dude. 5.
Okay. You do it, but there's a consequence. It's level 4 harm. And you are
Oh, I have to take a trauma.
traumatized, so it will kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, because I can't resist because I'm out of the scene.
Right.
Well, so I guess I don't have to take that trauma then. Glass half
you're
full.
on mute, Amber.
Yeah, I was like, well,
Yeah.
I hear
Well,
all
Amber.
this roaring and hissing that's happening. Yeah, so can Azure run over there?
And do what?
And not today. And yeah, pulls out a syringe and just jams it right into Red Raging's chest.
Pulp Fiction style.
Yep. And you can I've reduced your wound to level 3 instead of 4.
Sweet.
But-
Yes.
Oh no, you reduced it down to 2 before. Oh god, thank God. I thought you had
Back
level
in the
3
game
armor
with the
already.
trauma.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think because that is basically you protecting, right? Or like,
Me?
what's the wording of that
It's-
ability?
It says you can spend a doctor use. So my last doctor use
Yep.
is being used on Red Raging so that I can treat them and reduce the wound to level 3 harm instead. Like take a 4 and reduce it to 3.
Okay. So I think what happens here is that you take the harm, right? Like you put everything you have into this. Like Render is distracted. You get your blow in, and it's just not enough. Between like the dagger in your thigh, the slice across your torso, like it doesn't quite do it. And the last thing you see is like Render's like cold eyes, like staring into you as he draws his blade out. And then you wake up. You are staring at the sky, and then you see Azure's face, like desperately trying to revive you.
Very panicked right now.
Yeah.
I join you in that panic.
The rest of you.
Wait, how is Render faring?
Render is okay.
Did he take ticks?
He took ticks. Yeah, he has 2 ticks left on his clock.
Okay.
He only took
and,
1 for that, I think.
Yeah.
Like I will shorthand some of this because we're already at 10:10. So I think he will see the knights. He will see like what this Panyar has done. and he will leave. With him, he will take the Star Fox.
Mm.
Like that is the last thing that he will do. His last act of petulance, I guess, at his failure is he will recover the Star Fox that he was tasked with finding in the first place.
Damn, little buddy.
But can't Ash go first and shoot him and kill him?
You will not be able to kill him. I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell you. You can shoot him. Yeah.
Do it, Ash.
So I'll give you that shot. Yeah. Because Ash always goes first.
You've been saving that black shot.
So Ash, you've been exactly. You've been saving that armor-piercing black shot. If you want to take it and you can do it, you can save the Star Fox.
Shot. That's a shoot. Obviously, Ash is pushing. This should be for effect, right? Yeah, it's better for effect. Give me a devil's bargain.
Heck yeah.
Will you have enough even then?
Okay, hang on. I will just give you a devil's
up.
bargain. We can. This is a little bit cheating on the devil's bargain.
Okay.
You can shoot the Star Fox.
Oh, interesting. How? So, from what we understand from like hanging out with the Horned One and all talking and doing our rituals, in order to bring Nyx back, was it both the tree and the Star Fox, or was it just the tree?
You think there's a connection, but I don't think you know. Yeah, I think it's a judgment call. Is it if the Star Fox would eliminate the chance for bringing Nyx back? Would it be better to have the Star Fox dead or in the possession of the Cinder King?
Ooh.
Interesting. All right, and then the math says I don't think there's any way that I can actually, right? Because to me, render is threat 5.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Does the armor piercing do double potency because it's both black shot and armor piercing?
I think what we said was that the armor piercing let you shoot armored targets with black shot, right? So I think that is otherwise useless against him.
Yeah,
you're just getting the effect.
Yeah, I don't unless. I'm trying to think. Even if you crit,
if I crit, then
you can do one tick.
No, because I'm both pushing for effect and have black shot.
So I kind of want to draw that devil's bargain back because I like the dilemma, but I don't think that's the right thing for a devil's bargain. Like I think that is maybe your consolation decision if you do not hit him, or like you don't like do it. So I'm gonna pull that devil's bargain back.
Can we all shoot? Like Ash leads.
Or you lead a shoot?
He will all if a single person fails, he traumas.
Well, let me lead then. No, wait.
No. I think this has to be Ash's.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Can I assist you?
Because that will give you scale, right? That's what you're looking for?
Right.
Oh. I can assist and say, remember that scope I gave you earlier?
Yeah.
Use it now.
No, I think this is good.
Okay.
I think. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, I like the assist better.
Okay.
Wait, no, but the assist only gives you a die.
Yeah. You can do both. The assist will give you another die, which means.
But I don't like. That feel like. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll group shoot.
Okay, everybody do this.
So wait, do you want the assist or
Azure?
not?
I mean, if you can assist as well, sure, I'll take it definitely.
Does everyone have to be in the group shoot to give us scale?
I don't think you can assist and actually because you lost Crimson, right? And you don't have Azure because she is running there. So I think all of you have to shoot.
We have Sapphire.
Right. Yeah. So it's Sapphire. I need to roll. You need to roll, and
well, Ash can trauma.
Ash needs to roll.
Yep, he can.
All right. So are you rolling, Rudy?
Okay. And I just caused him to trauma out.
Well, I was about to say this. Since he knows this could be the last thing he does, he's shooting a broken, right? His order to Ananika, and then for everyone to hear who's here, is if this doesn't do it, kill the fox.
I get
Because
another.
That is your
because-
commander speaking.
Because we know that the Cinder King corrupts that which is good, and it is better for it not to exist than for him to have it. Okay,
So I actually get another die because if it's
that's good.
I'm loyal, and I succeeded, but someone else failed.
Ash got a 6. Did anybody else get a 6?
I got a 6.
I got a
Oh,
6.
it doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't
It doesn't
matter. I'm
matter.
leading
It
it.
doesn't- it
I'm
doesn't
leading
matter.
it. You're right. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Okay,
But that's a success,
that is a success,
which is 2
Nice.
ticks.
but
because
not
we-
3 ticks because we needed a crit.
We only needed 2 ticks to fill render.
Oh, he only 2. Okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
Like all you needed was
Whew.
success on that one. That's why we added the scale. That's why you've traumatized out.
There we
because
go.
You needed the scale.
It was another roll.
So yeah, so you are able to like pepper him with shots. Render decides discretion is the greater part of valor, as it were. He, rather than like trying to collect the Star Fox, which is obviously not going along willingly, he instead retreats into the forest.
Ash's trauma is definitely going to be vicious.
Oh no.
That is the thing. You've just
Wait.
lost Warren Barton.
And red raging is going to be cold.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
brutal mission.
Whew.
Brutal mission.
That night, around midnight, the Horned One returns. She is, I think, in similar fashion, she is basically like when she arrives, like she is wheezing. As you're aware, like you can easily tell she has like a collapsed lung.
jeez.
She is like bleeding from various wounds. She is on like death's doorstep is a stretch for a broken or for a chosen, but like this is as close to death as you have ever seen a chosen. Like she has pushed herself beyond her limit. And you have a fitful night trying to keep her alive, as you understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not exactly sure what would happen if she died, but probably better not to find out. You and the Star Fox together keep her alive.
Okay.
And around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, on the 14th day, for the first time, you see the slightest sliver of moonlight. And as you like all look up to the moon, and keeping kind of like an anxious vigil, that shine of the moon seems to like trace a ray down to the earth, and where once was a tree that had grown to, probably 10 feet tall and had leaves, looked like a tree that was like fresh in spring, right? Where that tree was, now stands that tree, looking like, the other trees in the forest now in winter. And underneath it sits cross-legged a Panyar woman with kind of pale skin and long dark hair, with silvery eyes, and she stands up and walks over to a Panyar lying on the ground, herself nearly half dead, and touches Red Raging's forehead, with a leaves like almost a fingerprint of like silvery moonlight on your forehead, and tells you, "Rise, red raging eclipse."
Red raging eclipse rises.
You feel completely healed. Like you feel infused with her blessing.
Red raging just bows her head in like humility.
And when you look up again, Nyx is gone. And the moon still hangs in the sky. Now let's find out what's going on at Skydagger.
Yeah. Daggerford.
Daggerford Falls.
This is secondary missions, right? We gotta roll
So
some of
these
those
are
and then we'll do
so
our parts.
and I appreciate everybody staying up real late for us. We might still lose the campaign in our last gasp.
No.
Oh yeah.
We're good.
So I don't know if anybody read ahead in the book. But the way that Skydagger works, so remember, this is like an ancient keep that kind of stretches between this mountain pass, right? It's named for the keep, like in the center of the fortress, that like kind of reaches up into the sky, like a dagger. But it has fallen into disrepair. It's stood between the kingdoms, like since ancient times, and it just hasn't been manned. You were tasked with getting here to defend it. So there are several things that need to be accomplished in order to successfully defend it against, granted, what our armies that previously had 3 broken leading them now have 1.5, maybe, and some somewhat depleted forces. But still, like, you will need to reinforce, take care of a lot of like tasks in the days or hopefully even week remaining before the siege starts. And again, like the task here is to hold out until winter comes and basically like freezes them out. Because it will, once the snows come, like it will simply snow over the pass and you will be safe until the spring thaw. You'll be able to leave and move down the mountains, and they'll have no choice but to retreat. So the way we do this, there are 5 objectives that need to be completed before we sort of roll the last wave. So we have 5 missions that need to be accomplished. Then we will roll a single engagement roll for the final wave of their attack. And then based on that, we will start adding up some points. And then depending on where those points shake out, we'll, kind of interpret what that is. So the 5 missions that need to be accomplished. And I will go ahead and tell you, you will have to sacrifice some of these missions in order to be successful, because you simply do not have the resources to do all of them. Reinforce the ramparts and gates. Skydagger has not been maintained in decades and has never been besieged. Start a 10-segment long-term project and assign a specialist and a squad to it. Roll once before each other mission. Add +1 die to each roll for each laborer's squad the Legion has.
Okay.
So all of these will require you to assign a squad. They all basically need to happen at the same time. So you will have to make a choice of what you accomplish and what you don't. So next up, hold the lower pass. 1 squad and up to 3 specialists must hold the pass. If they manage to hold off 3 enemy units and an infamous, the mission is complete. This counts as an assault mission. If any broken has been defeated already, you do not need to do this mission. So, fun fact, you just defeated a broken.
Hooray!
Heck yeah.
That's what I was most concerned about.
So next up, stop the main force. Assign 1 squad and 2 specialists to a dangerous recon mission that involves climbing the mountain passes and evading undead patrols. The objective is to start an avalanche to stall and stagger the main undead force.
Send Pete. We can spare him.
Yeah.
2 specialists though.
To PN. Well, we'll figure it out once we
So
We'll
see
figure it out. We don't have a lot of specialists.
Yeah. Assemble the siege weapons. There are a few underground routes to the siege weapon positions on the cliffs above. Nobody knows if the undead have sent more nimble units to reach them overland, or what might be nesting amidst the tunnels. Assign 1 squad and 2 specialists to this supply mission. Take +1 die to the engagement roll if the Legion has siege weapons. Otherwise, you must repair the old, unused ones on the cliffs.
We do have siege weapons.
So that will give you +1 die to that.
Cool.
And then hold the second wave. Fight off a lieutenant and its undead at the walls. Your chosen will take the field. The undead will attempt to scale the walls and get in. If the ramparts and gates mission is complete, add +1 die to your engagement roll. Assign 1 unit and up to 3 specialists.
So how many specialists and squads do we actually have to work with at Skydagger?
Yeah, so Sally, how many full squads do you have?
We have the Ember Wolves, the Grinning Ravens, the Shattered Lions, and the Silver Stags. We just don't have the Star Vipers. Aren't a full squad.
Oh, okay.
Every other squad is full.
So you have 5 squads, and then how many specialists do you have?
Only 3, aren't there?
No.
Well, we're all here now, right? Like the whole Legion is here.
No.
No. The Nyx mission team, like
okay,
Operation
so
Chosen
we're
Arrow
still-
is still separated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have
Okay,
Arun,
so-
Peter, and the other promoted sniper. I forget who it is.
Adakar the Heavy.
Adakar. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. We don't have another sniper.
Yeah, the only specialists
boy.
are. Yeah,
We should have
who they-
promoted Tatanika.
We should have. Yeah. Oh boy.
Did you choose not to do that? like, what did
There
you
were
do
secondary
instead?
missions, and we didn't send.
Oh,
her.
you didn't make the sacrifice to promote her.
I don't think it's possible to promote a
Yeah,
soldier.
not to
You-
specialist.
They can't
Oh,
get XP
okay.
on secondary missions.
Well, actually, no. I think we were considering it, but we just haven't played her or seen her in a long time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if we don't give her XP, we can't. If we
I
don't
mean,
play her, we can't give her XP.
what would Malin? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, she doesn't have the XP to promote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well. Oh boy. Okay. So we don't have to do hold the lower pass, right? Because we defeated a broken.
Correct.
Cool. Cool.
That will give you, a free roll on the reinforce the ramparts and gates, if you want to. Which, in turn, if you complete the 10 clock on that, will give you a +1 die on your hold the second wave. So those two are kind of related.
And we need to assign a specialist to
will-
that.
I will send this in chat.
Okay, so Ramparts only requires 1 specialist.
Yeah.
Hold the lower pass can also have just 1 specialist.
Or
And
none.
what kind
You
of-
can have
what-
none. It says up to 3 specialists. It
Oh, you're
doesn't
right.
say
You can't have
requires
none.
any.
You're right.
Yeah,
Oh.
you take a penalty to the roll if you don't have the specialists, right?
Wow.
Like that's a required specialist is missing from this -1 die.
Right.
That's,
So-
that's
okay.
fine, but
So-
you can still attempt it,
Right, which is better than auto failing it.
Yeah.
right?
So stop the main force and assemble the siege weapons. Also say 2 specialists.
And then hold the second wave also doesn't require specialists.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we can do 1 specialist on all the one. Right. Well, even if it says it needs 2, we can still assign 1 to get a -1. Right, Shane? Or no?
No. So the way it works
So we have to
is
choose.
yeah. So when it says you require 2 specialists, if you send
Yeah.
none, you still have -1 die. You don't get any benefit to sending 1 instead of 2.
Okay. So then
So-
we have to choose to put the other 2 on either stop the main force or assemble the siege weapons. So we do have a siege weapons already. A siege
Right.
weapon.
We probably have the best.
Because
Yeah,
that gives you,
because
but
we'll
that
get
only
another
gives you
die.
+1 on that. Yeah. Right.
Well, the other one we have nothing from stop the main force.
True.
So we might as
Although
well
sending
just...
sending the appropriate specialist might get us to a single die rather than no dice, right?
That's true. So it's either 2 maybes or... I mean, it doesn't guarantee with assemble the siege weapons.
I mean, we don't really have time to walk through everything.
Yeah.
Here.
So let's just... It doesn't matter which specialists are assigned.
Yeah, well,
No,
they are
they're all-
recon.
It does because there's
They're
a
all-
recon. And stuff,
So for stop the
Okay.
main force, it's slippery or
Arun.
yeah, but you got to wait. You have to
Arun.
send 2 specialists for that. So
Yeah.
Slippery and Arun.
right.
Okay, well then let's do that. We'll put the 2 specialists on stop the main force, and then assembled siege weapons. We'll take we'll get a die from the siege weapons. So that's fine. Okay.
Okay. So where are you
Okay.
assigning your specialists?
Add a car on. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Mel, not me.
How many are? What the supply mission? Which one was that? Are we doing that one?
There is no supply
There's
mission.
no supply. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
isn't.
No,
No,
there's one.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Assemble the siege weapons is a supply, but we're not gonna put specialists on that one.
We're not okay because
Yeah.
Oh, right. You're right. Sorry.
Adhikar is a heavy. So, but you need 2 for that. Is that the deal?
Yep.
Okay. So in that case, Slippery and Arun on the recon. And then we do have Adhikar if he would be useful somewhere.
Reinforce the ramp.
Building.
Yeah.
Reinforce the-
building.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's... Cool. Okay. So
And assign a specialist. Okay. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So he can go do that.
yeah.
Yep.
Are you taking this reinforcement clock? Are you doing that, Shane, or?
I'll track it.
Okay, thank you.
Because
Okay,
we
so we
are
get a
doing
free-
that mission, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll send the. Is it
and
cool to send? Oh, sorry.
we also do have a laborers in that.
Oh
in
yes,
the
that's
thing,
right. Nice.
Amber.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
And keep in mind, like these things that are assault recon supply missions, you can spend resources from your quartermaster to get your bonuses.
I think we're out of supply.
Yeah, we're out of
We
supply.
don't have any supply.
Those
Or
give us
horses.
points too.
Or
so I would
horses.
be like, hold those for the end.
What's
Points.
recon? Isn't recon food? You might have food.
We have one
Oh.
food left.
I don't think we get points for food, so you might as well spend the food.
Okay. All right. So
All right.
we will do these in order. So
we
first
just
we
get
will
it for-
reinforce the ramparts and gates.
Yeah.
We have to assign squads too, right?
Although I don't
we,
think it matters.
Yeah.
we
squads.
do, but it doesn't
Yeah.
super.
It doesn't?
matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. So this is an assault mission.
the reinforce the
no.
ramparts and gates.
Wait, so first we
is-
get our free roll from. Oh no, I see. Yeah.
This
So,
one
yeah.
doesn't have
Right.
a
Well, so
mission
you can
type.
still succeed or fail, right?
Yeah, this one's ongoing too. You roll a bunch of times.
Yeah. So, but hang on. So
It says you roll once before each other mission. Do you roll
Mm-hmm.
once to start it as well, or just before each other mission?
yeah. So we are again like we're not. Well. Oh no! I guess that one we just.
Right. What does starting a project do?
Yeah.
Does it just
Do you get a roll,
start a blank clock?
or does it just start?
Yeah, it's. I think. Okay, so I think reinforce the ramparts and gates is just starting. It's just starting the clock. So you've assigned a specialist. Who did you assign?
Adhikar. Yeah.
Okay,
Adhikar.
so Adhikar is assigned to it. That starts the clock. Great.
But now because we're not doing hold the lower pass, we don't get
we
as
are.
many rolls.
Are we?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
we
No, we're
defeated a
sending-
broken. You do not need to do this.
Oh no,
mission.
so we still get the roll for
we
it.
still get
Yeah,
the
yeah,
roll.
you'll still get the
cool.
roll
Oh,
for it,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So you'll just do that for free.
Gotcha. Okay. So going down.
So let's go ahead and roll that long-term project quartermaster.
Am I just rolling like in the chat, or do I do
This
an
one-
engagement?
This one's Amber.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is Amber.
so
yeah.
I
Oh,
just
quartermaster. Sorry.
If I just roll 1d6, right?
Well,
And,
plus one die for each laborers.
laborers.
What's the?
We only have one laborer.
What's the like? What do you normally roll for a long-term project? Like if you were in.
It's been so
campaign phase?
long. I think I just roll.
Zero.
To work on pick a specialist in the
Yeah,
project, roll an
it's-
action, and mark segments on the
okay.
project clock.
So an action roll. So who's leading this? What specialist is leading this?
Adhikar.
Adhikar. So,
And what
yeah.
skill are they using?
Rig.
Um,
Wreck.
Rec. Yeah. Rec is also.
yeah.
Old.
It's, Rig
has
feels
one
like
in
the
rec.
right one, but fine. Rec. Okay.
Okay. How many pips does he have in that?
1.
Okay, so
Wait, he's
roll-
good at other stuff. Skirmish. Reinforce.
So roll 2, take the lowest, right?
No. Just roll 2.
No, just. Okay. So yes, for this going forward, you will roll 1 for his rec,
Mm-hmm.
and plus 1 for the laborers that you still have.
Yep.
Right. So you'll roll 2 dice and take.
Well, I rolled
better.
a 1 and 2.
Oh boy.
So,
Okay, so that's-
there's that.
Failed.
Well,
So no, not failed. One
That's
tick.
One tick.
Whew.
That's good. This is the good place to roll low, if we're going to.
Stop the main force.
Okay, stop the main force. This is the recon mission.
Yes, so the Rune and Slippery Peter are both on this.
Wait, so actually now it's another.
Oh, yes,
long-term
before.
project.
So yep,
each.
let's roll the long-term project.
So,
So 2 more dice, please, Amber.
Come here. Dice. 5 and 2.
okay.
So a 5 gets you 2 ticks.
2 ticks.
2 ticks.
It's going to be close.
It's gonna be real close. All right. So yeah. So they get to work on those ramparts. Now let's roll the engagement roll as a secondary mission for stop the main force. So this is a recon mission. So get me those questions, Sally.
Okay. Are on the mission Oathsworn to the Legion?
Yes.
Did the commander spend 1 intel?
No.
Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier?
Do we have a squad of all soldiers?
Do you have a squad of all soldiers?
Yeah, we have those Barton soldiers, right?
Oh.
Then,
Oh, yeah.
but then.
So you
Wait,
could
did we do that?
you could
Yeah.
do them
Put them-
there.
We'll get a dice somewhere.
Yeah.
I get, this one doesn't have a +1. The next one does.
But also
So-
that one has a
Wait, is
minus.
everyone on the mission? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Does each specialist that you don't have on deduct 1 die?
No,
No.
it's all or nothing.
No, it's all or nothing.
Okay, so we're saying no, we're not
I don't
doing the
know.
alls.
Which one should we put it on? This one or the next one? I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll just put it on this one. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So, then yes. So
Does
it's 2
any
dice.
legion? Okay, cool. Does any legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey orders in the battlefield?
No.
Are required specialists or equipment not on the mission?
No.
Okay, this is recon, right?
Yep.
Did the quartermaster spend horses to equip the mission?
Horses. No.
Oh, horses.
Is any legionnaire starting with heavy load?
No.
Okay, so that's 2 dice.
Cool.
The secondary, right?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
What is it?
1
2
and 1.
ones.
Wait, do Adakar?
You
Oh no!
you
do they
fail the
have
mission,
harm?
lose 3 squad members, and all specialists take level 3 harm.
Is that a card
Okay.
dead?
No. It's not Adakar. It's a Rune in Slippery Peter's
And
okay.
Pete.
I don't see where's Rune. Because didn't they get? Oh no! A Rune's dead.
Yeah, Rune already had a level 3
Fuck.
harm. He had a festering bite.
Oh no!
Wow.
And then Slippery,
Or one
He's
out for-
fine.
he has, yeah.
Fuck! We didn't even think of that when we were assigning people.
No, we most certainly
And you
didn't.
didn't have enough specialists to.
Well, I
really-
would have taken the -1 than risking any of them die.
Well, we wouldn't have even gotten a -1 because
yeah.
you only need. You don't have to have sniper and scout.
Yeah, I know. We could hold
Yeah.
them both back. Fuck! I didn't think of it. It's points and also a good man.
No, it's fun. It's
Okay,
fine.
so-
Adakar would have died as well. He also has a level 3 because they were the 2 who were on that other terrible mission where we
Right,
failed
yeah.
horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that means like that was stop the main
sucks.
force.
Oh,
So
man.
how did I mean I think it's pretty obvious why soldiers died, right? Like they managed to scale the ramparts. Or I mean you ran into patrols and like trying to trigger this avalanche. How does a Rune die? Remember they were trying to get up and trigger an avalanche. Kind of feel like they weren't able. Like I feel like he stood there and like.
So
set
I
off.
think like last ditch he was like, we have to trigger an avalanche. All right, take off suppressor. Let's make as loud a shot as possible. Overload the Orite rifle. Try to get it to explode and hopefully like actually cause enough of a like sound and echo to cause this avalanche. And it just didn't do it. But he definitely died in the blast.
Fuck.
Sad. Man.
Oh, he sacrificed himself and it wasn't enough. Oof, brutal.
And we lose 3 squad members too.
And we
which
lose 3
also
squad members.
I don't care about the Bartons.
the points
Will impact morale.
points. Oh,
Okay.
it will impact
You know
morale
what though?
too.
Arun volunteered for this mission because he's also a Barton.
Is that -4 morale?
Hang on, we'll get there, Rudy. It's okay. All right, now we will assemble the siege weapons.
Saving the Star Fox was for nothing, Rudy.
Yeah, we will assemble the siege weapons. This is the supply mission. Sally.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Supply mission. You want questions, right?
Well, I think we can shorthand this, right? Like we are missing the specialists that are required, right?
Yeah. But we get the
And we also don't have all soldiers on this mission.
Yeah.
Correct. So that will
Even
normally
with the-
be 0, and then it's +1 for the siege weapons.
It
So
doesn't
we're rolling
cancel
1 die.
out the negatives or whatever.
Rolled a 2.
Man.
Oof.
You fail the mission, lose 3 squad. I guess. Oh, we have to choose a squad for that too. And
Yeah.
all specialistic.
Sure.
Is that Adhikar that was on that?
No. There's no specialists.
No,
on
no
that one.
specialists.
No specialist, right?
So
Okay.
you have to
Just lose 3 soldiers.
Amber
Yep.
roll the 10 clock too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's
roll
good.
3 squad members.
2 dice for the ramparts, please.
6.
Hey, 5
Oh,
ticks.
shit. Is that 5?
Yeah.
Back in the
6.
game.
Nice.
Okay.
Woo!
Wow.
Could
Uh,
would preferred Sally had those, but okay.
Yeah. Wait, what are ticks looking like?
8 out of 10.
Okay, so you need
Nice.
to roll 4.
4 or 5. Yeah.
4-5. 4-5 gets you there.
And-
So
okay.
let's talk about hold the second wave.
Well,
Well,
before
This is the one that
we roll
Andy
this
Carson-
engagement.
This is actually reinforced the
yeah.
ramparts and gates.
This is Amber. This is it.
Oh,
Yeah,
another
so
one.
Roll true.
One, yep. One more roll.
3, 2.
Oh, this stupid game.
So you fall 1 short.
This is stupid
So
dice. I hate you,
close.
Forged in the Dark. Huge repercussions from.
Okay, well, so hang on. So we also failed the assemble siege weapons, which I think means that this squad was not able to reach it. They are like, let's say that there's something in those tunnels, something that doesn't like you being there, and they were ambushed. And the 2 soldiers who made it out alive, what squad were they from?
That was I just made an executive decision. It was the Shattered Lions.
Ah!
Theonin and Leavel made it out alive.
Oh, good.
Okay, they're gonna freeze over the winter, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. So they failed to get the siege weapons in place, and now it is time to hold the second wave without the reinforced ramparts. So, this is not an
Is this-
assault mission.
But are we sending Adhikar on this?
No, he was on he was reinforcing the ramparts.
Yeah,
and
he was
gates.
he was trying to reinforce the
Ah.
ramparts.
It doesn't say what mission this is.
It doesn't say what it would be. Let's.
The Chosen takes the field and gets a 10.
I mean, we don't have specialists on it anyway, so.
Yeah, you don't have any specialists
or anything to spend. So
right.
So roll 2d6, take the lowest.
yep.
2.
2.
I think we lost, right? I think that's GG. We just lost 9 line. We lose 3 more squad members. I think we don't have a fall.
You have lost 10. Yeah, you've lost
We
9
lost
squad
10.
members.
You're
and
right.
you've lost 10 soldiers, or 10 legionnaires total. You've actually
Yeah.
lost 11 if you count Crimson Vexing.
Which obedience says you definitely do count that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
our
I know, but
morale is
I am kind of I'm tempted to not count it because he was already
think it
gone.
matters.
You know, like
Oh,
he'd
I see.
already left the
Mhm.
Legion in a way.
Mhm.
So,
Mm.
but also you can't go below 0 morale. I'm laughing, but I'm sad. Okay, so you fail to hold the second wave. Like you are now beating a fighting retreat through Skydagger, right? Like they are. This is the Battle of Winterfell. Like they're in. It is chaotic fighting within the passageways. right? What was a beautifully architected and designed fortress is now becoming like a living hell, as you cannot trust what's around any given corner. The undead are streaming in. Zora has not been seen in days. She took the field, and no one is sure where she is. So the last wave. This is it. A broken assaults the wall, and the keep must hold. This is the last wave of this campaign, and it's resolved as a fortune roll to see how the Legion weathers it. So, assemble the dice on the following. Always start with 1 die for. Oh, actually, so let's just make sure. How many Legionnaires are left, Sally?
Okay, so that including specialists, right?
No.
No specialists, just squad members.
Yeah, how many full squads can we assemble?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, hang on. We had 5 full squads and we lost 9, so we have 16.
17.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So we're fine. We're alive.
All right. Doesn't
Fine is
feel
relative.
good, but we're
Yeah.
alive. And not for long.
Okay. We get to roll on the last wave, is what I'm saying.
Right, we don't lose.
Yeah.
We don't
didn't
lose right
fail
now.
yet. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay.
which means you will get your first die for making it to the final wave. Chosen. Take +1 die if your chosen is still alive and with the Legion. Prepared. Take +1 die for each siege weapon the quartermaster has.
We have a catapult.
We have one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
We have
+1.
one siege weapon.
Also, isn't that a fine quality catapult?
It's an experimental.
is.
All right, catapult.
That is +1 die.
Nice.
So you're at, by my count, you're at 4.
Yeah. Also, holding the second wave, that mission, that's definitely on Zora, because she was there.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The resourceful. Take +1 die if the Legion has both a mercy and an alchemist. That's 5.
Yes.
Woo!
And now we hit the parts where we were like, we're gonna go straight through as quickly as possible.
Yeah, exactly. The brave. Take +1 die if you lit the fires at Kavala. You did
The
not.
what?
Yep.
We were supposed to do what?
The blessed. Take +1 die if someone in the Legion can weave moonlight.
Star Fox. He's a legionnaire. He said the words.
The answer is yes.
Wait, really? Who? Is it?
She is not here right now, but her name is Red Raging Eclipse.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
So that is 6 dice. Take +1 die if the Legion has fire oil, the angry. I do not think you do.
We've not even heard of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
really?
Some of these are kind of funny because it's like they allude to special missions that
Yeah.
were in places you didn't go.
Yeah.
The Godslayers. Take +1 die if you can ring a bell to end broken power. Wouldn't that have been
That
convenient?
would have been pretty. That would have been pretty good. Yeah.
The Grave Robbers.
What
Take
the
+1 die
hell
if
is
you
this?
have the head or chain of a past chosen.
Yeah. You have to take the long way all the
We
way
gotta
through
play
the
this
The long
game
way.
again. Missed out on all these side quests.
The Warded. Take +1 die if the Legion carries an Old Empire warding stone. So I am going to give you +1 die for this because you do carry an Old Empire banner.
Banner.
Nice.
Okay.
Rudy, and don't worry about it. If we'd taken the long way, we would have lost already because of all the 6s you
Because
rolled.
of the time.
Oh. You know,
Right, so
ones
I
are-
have you at 7.
Oh, no,
Now we get
sixes.
to the negatives.
Oh boy.
Oh Lord.
Take the weary. Take -1 die if Legion morale is 3 or less.
We're like
Well,
-7 or
it is
something.
0.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Jeez.
Stopping at 0.
Enemy at the gates. Take -1 die if you have 3 or fewer time remaining.
I'm almost positive we have
I
less.
think we're
than that.
3.
Oh, we're at 4.
I think you're at
Oh,
4.
thank
Actually, I
God.
think you
4.
rushed here
Yeah.
in order to keep that alive
Mhm.
because I warned you of that. So that's good. You're at 6. The endless foes. Take -1 die for each infamous left alive. Refer to the lists for each broken in your game. Okay, so you have killed, by my count,
3.
Elia. You killed the wolf, who is a lieutenant, but I'm going to
Yeah.
count it anyway because we don't actually count lieutenants separately.
We killed Ake.
And you killed Ake. So there are of the
Was
six,
the hag?
Oh yes, at the beginning.
you didn't kill the hag.
Oh right, we just
You just drove her off. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's actually a lieutenant anyway.
Oh.
But regardless, so there are 6 total infamous. You have killed 2 2 infamous and a lieutenant. So I will say that's -3 dice.
Okay.
So I'll give you credit for the lieutenant as an infamous. So you are down to 3. Now, the crumbling defenses. The crumbling defenses. Take -1 die for every incomplete or failed Skydagger Keep mission.
5.
4.
4.
5.
No,
Oh,
we
no,
held
you
the
passed
lower
one.
pass.
Sorry. Yeah, you held you did that one. Okay, so -4. You are at 0.
So roll 2d6, take the lower, right?
Hold on. Oh, sorry. You're actually at -1.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I am giving you +5 because as the last wave is cresting over the ramparts, that night is the first night in 3 years that there has been a moon in the sky. You gave birth to a god.
Okay, cool.
So that's +5.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I don't care.
We did throw away like all our specialists
Yes.
at that mission too.
You are rolling 4 dice.
Okay, cool.
Should we each roll one?
That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
let's
Oh,
all
it's
roll
fun.
one.
All right.
I did not plan that.
How do you roll again in the
/
chat?
R 1d6.
Thank you.
All right. Who wants to go first?
Well, why not? I'll go.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
I'll go next. I'm poised. A 6.
Oh my god!
serious?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Are you rolling in roll 20 or I-Hsien?
I have already rolled manually.
Okay. I
What'd
will
you roll?
A 2.
I got a 6.
Mark of the
course!
beast. That means you win.
You actually
Yeah.
lose. Yeah, no.
6,
Now
6,
you
6.
lose. Nyx is actually dead. Sorry. Hates the Legion. You rolled 666. Okay, so that's critical. The outcome here is legends. +10 points to the final score.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So we
His
totally
name was a
chunked it.
rune.
Cool. Now, final scoring.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we won.
You
Right?
won.
We won.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So
Somehow.
the last wave, right? They're cresting over. This desperate fighting. One by one, the various troops that are still here, right? Because you're not alone. There are other troops that just happened to be caught here when they attacked. Like slowly, right? As you are fighting your way, like basically up to the top of the keep to make your last stand, and they are trying to eliminate you. Like word starts to circulate throughout that like the moon is healed, and like there's a realization, right? Like there is a power that like that gives you like a hope, and along with it comes word that Zora has been spotted in the courtyard. She is fighting back to back with Shreya, and they need your help. And with a surge of hope, the Legionnaires surviving, the handful of Legionnaires surviving, probably the command staff picking up weapons for the first time in years, surge from the keep, overwhelm the dead, and reclaim Skydagger. Fucking somehow. Like the 9 brave Legionnaires. The legends.
The
They
power
are
9.
known by name. Okay, so we could do final scoring.
Cool.
Okay, so you'll start with 10.
Start with 10.
Next up's
Sorry. Survivors. You made it.
Survivors.
Before
You made it
winter.
before winter.
Gain
Gain
20. All right. Do you have your sheet open, Sally? Here we go.
All right.
Am I supposed to be tracking something right now?
No, but you have all the squads in front of you, and that's
Oh, yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
have to reference that a bunch.
Okay, so so now everybody is going to score off their sheet. So
Okay.
starts with the marshal, soldiers and troops. The marshal condenses troops into complete squads, then calculates the following: soldiers remembered. For each squad annihilated, subtract 10 points. So every squad was 0 survivors.
So we have 17.
You have 17,
Soldiers.
which means
We don't have any
We have
squads with no survivors.
no, you do,
Well,
because you have to consolidate to 2
Consolidate.
squads.
So we have
Oh, you
two.
have to
So you have
consolidate
3
them.
full
I see.
squads
3 full
plus
squads.
2, which means you have 2 squads that have 1 guy in them. or gal. So you have lost one squad entirely. So that's minus 10 points. Then formation. For each wounded squad, fewer than 5 survivors, subtract 5 points, which is 2 squads. So that's 10 more points. Specialists. For each surviving specialist, gain 5 points.
That includes those that went on the Star Fox mission?
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay,
we have Red
so we have a
Raging,
bunch.
Azure, Ananika, Ash.
Ash is
Ash is Ash is not a.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
We only lost a rune, and we gained 1. So it nets out to...
Adhikar,
it's still 5.
Yeah.
Slippery, so 5.
Yeah.
So 25 points.
25. For each chosen advance, gain 10 points. And I should know that answer. Sorry.
It's 1.
I think the answer is 1.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's 2 because you start with
yeah.
1.
Oh, okay. Cool.
1 second. Yeah, it's Sacred Seals and Star of the Dawn. So that is 20 points. Then morale.
Oh.
If your morale is between 4 and 7, gain 5 points. If it's 8 or better, gain 10 points. It is currently 0.
But we don't lose any points.
You don't lose any points.
Okay,
All right, supplies held. The quartermaster assesses remaining resources and calculates the following. For each supply remaining, gain 5 points.
We have 0 supply.
Okay. Siege weapons. You'll need these to hold the keep. For each one, gain 5 points.
1. So 5 points.
But it's fine.
It's fine.
Laborers. You need these to fortify the keep. For each, gain 5 points.
1 laborer.
Cool.
Shoot.
Legion Path. The commander reviews completed missions and calculates. Special missions. For each special mission completed, gain 5 points.
Was it 3?
I think it's 4, right?
Yeah, that one, the Star Fox mission was a special mission, right? But it was a
Yes.
request. So yeah, if we count that too, it's 4.
And the Operation Broken Arrow or Chosen Arrow is definitely a special mission. So that's actually 5.
Oh, okay, cool.
Relics. Are you bearing any relics found on special missions? For each one, gain 10 points.
It's just the one, right? The
It's 2, the Star Fox.
oh, the fox itself.
Great.
Nice.
Lieutenants. For each enemy lieutenant slain, gain 10 points.
You gonna
Okay.
give us the
So,
wolf, or...
interesting. I kind of already gave you the benefit of the infamous. I didn't realize that.
I mean, you can take it away, and it
fuck,
wouldn't
no,
change.
it's
Well, it was a die back in the
Yeah, it was.
roll.
No, I'll give you the 10 points. It's fine.
Okay,
If you slew a broken, gain 30 points.
we did not.
You did not.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Didn't know that was possible.
Values. If your game has a lore keeper, add the following. Annals. If you've kept the annals faithfully through the end of the campaign and they've reached Skydagger Keep safely, gain 10 points. As the game designers, we would love to read them.
Turn to one eye. He
Who?
wakes up from a nap. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Okay, so
Oh, we should have a pretty badass score. Maybe.
one
How
moment
good.
as I feed these into Google Sheets.
Yes.
Scores need to be higher than you might suspect.
I mean, we don't. So this is cool. These points are cool, but we don't know really what this means because this is kind of like if
Well,
slash when.
No. There's a
It tells
like
you.
measure
really?
your score.
Where is
Yep.
it? I'm looking at the wrong sheet.
Low scores, less than 100, mean that you'll start weaker in the next campaign and might have trouble catching up as the story advances.
Yeah.
Higher scores of above 200 indicate starting in an excellent position.
Oh boy.
You totaled 120 points.
Okay.
Okay.
It's the equivalent of a
Okay.
risky position.
That's okay.
I feel like you should get some bonus points for, I don't know, resurrecting a dead god. Yes.
Yeah. Five points
500?
for every
5
goddess.
points.
500? 5,000 points?
Let's call it around 125 points.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so officially 120 points, but with one extra chosen on your side.
Oh,
So
that's
it Don't know what that's worth.
Good. Yeah.
But it's
So
worth something.
when the expansion comes out, we'll figure out what that means.
Exactly. The Legion's valor held.
All right.
All right.
A great deal of its iron broke, though.
A great deal of iron broke. Yes.
There's Band of Blades. Yay!
Hey.
Clap, 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 clap.
Woo, we did it.
We did it.
Thank you for staying an extra hour late to finish the stream.
Good.
Thank you for everybody who's listening in chat. Thank you for everybody who donated bits, who made that final battle a little bit longer than I expected by about an hour, and also a little bit tougher than I expected by about an hour. And thank y'all for playing.
Thank you, Shane, for running
Thank you, Shane.
this.
It was awesome.
Mhm.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Offworld, for making this. Thank you, Strosh and
Off guard.
Whoops. Thank you, Strosh and Kat, for guesting. Yeah, thank you all for putting in your Wednesdays. Thank you to significant others for losing their partners for every Wednesday night to play a game on a stream, which I'm sure is always an easy and acceptable excuse. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. This was great.
Thank you for everybody on YouTube too.
Yeah,
who
definitely.
watches after the fact.
Thank you to the Discord, to the TPT Discord. Thank you to the Blades in the Dark Discord.
Yes,
As well?
for getting us right.
Yeah, this was really, really fun, guys. I was so excited when this game came out, and now I have played it, and this is one of the best experiences I've ever had in gaming. So, thanks.
And
all
you've
of
had a lot. So
you.
Yeah.
I've been around the block.
Hey, Rudy.
Hey.
Thank you
Oh.
for
Yeah.
running the
Yeah.
stream, for like keeping up with all this stuff. Thank you, Amber, for like creating all the layouts and
Oh,
everything.
Yeah. Thank you, Amber.
You guys did a bunch of work behind the scenes that doesn't necessarily show up on stream, but it makes it work. So thank you.
Cool. So, yeah, that's it until the expansion comes out. Maybe we'll resume if that comes out and there's more Band of Blades to be played and you guys are still interested. But
And I'm, divorced.
yeah, it's a maybe. It's definitely a maybe at this point. Yeah. So I'm Rudy Basso. Head to don'tsplitthepodcastnetwork.com for a lot of great podcasts about gaming. You can follow me on Twitter at Rudy Basso. Amber, tell me about yourself.
Hi, yes. You can find me online at Rocket Orca on all social media. I'm the co-owner of the Geek Spective Podcast Network. So if you want to hear me GM, you can check out my podcast, Shapeshift, and the Twitter Shapeshiftcast. And then also I'm on a show called Tales from Moxbury, which actually streams live Saturdays, every other Saturday, this one being one of those at 7 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, that's where you can find me. Geekspective.com.
Yeah.
Also rocketorca.com, because I'm a graphic designer.
Oh, yeah. If you enjoyed this beautiful layout, you too can have one.
For money.
For money. Yes, yes, an important asterisk. I-Hsien, where can people find you online?
Hey, I-Hsien at from Total Party Thrill. Check it out, totalpartythrill.com, at TPTcast. I'm at Evil Sense Carne. It's Malice minus Meat. New episode out tomorrow morning.
Nice. Sally, thank you for playing with us with mostly strangers. That was very brave, and I'm so happy to have met you and to now be friends with you. So
Me too. We started as strangers, but now we're all best friends forever.
best
was
friends forever.
so awesome.
Through
Thank
war.
you, Rudy, and Don't Split the Podcast Network, and Total Party Thrill, and all the work that you do to make this happen, Shane. That was really awesome. And it was really fun. And Amber and I-Hsien and Rudy, you all are so fun to role play with. And this has been a real delight. And I feel real honored that I got to be a part of it. I know I wasn't supposed to give a speech, but I just wanted to say thank you. It's an honor just to be nominated. I am at Sally T on Twitter. I have a podcast called The Struggle Bus, which comes out every other Thursday, except not tomorrow because my co-host / the editor and producer of the podcast, is very ill with a flu.
Ooh.
But probably Friday, so check that out. But usually every other Thursday.
Cool. And finally, Game Zaddy, Shane, thank you again. Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Mundangerous. You can find me on Total Party Thrill tomorrow morning. And I guess you can find me just resuming my normal life as a human being and no longer a game zaddy.
Well, once a Game Zaddy, always a Game Zaddy. That's what I always say.
You can take the zaddy out of the whatever.
You can take the game
You get it.
out. Yeah, it's good. All right.
You can take the zaddy out of the game, but you can't take the game out of the zaddy.
There
Come
it is.
on.
There it is.
There it is.
Yes.
That's it for Stream of Blades. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, gang.